Welcome, everybody, to Budweiser Gardens. It's Game 2 of the best-of-5 first-round series between the Orangeville A's and the London Lightning. London takes a 1-0 lead and hopes to extend that lead. Orangeville A's, on the other hand, looks to recover. Good evening, folks. This is Aaron Sanders alongside Chris Croucher and, who are you again? Some guy, I'll tell you that. Oh, we got Audley Stevenson. You know that. All right, gentlemen, the sure story is this. Orangeville, they suffered a 30-point loss the other day. We'll start with you first, Chris. You have no choice but to accentuate the positives for the Orangeville A's. What did they do right, at least, on Thursday night?
Well, it was a rough go of it, especially in that first half. But in the second half, they did find a couple things that worked for them. Most notably to me, the front court combo of Corbin Thomas and Justin Moss really came in and stepped up in that second half. And we saw Justin Moss in the final game of the season come in and perform, putting up 11 for 11 shooting. That's the best perfect night game in NBLC history. And he came in and did that kind of a performance on the final game of the year, had a good game in game 1 of the series. I think if you put Moss with Corbin Thomas in this game, they've got something cooking in the front court.
Odd, your reaction?
Well, I kind of, when you look at that game, you know, they can do a lot better than that. We've seen Orangeville A's play basketball. We know how good they are. This clearly was not one of their better days. So you put that in the rearview mirror. You say, you know what? It happened. We weren't proud of it. We don't like it, but there's an opportunity. Game 2, let's go.
Couldn't have said it better myself. The London Lightning, on the other hand, they're looking to get a 2-0 lead. But how important is it to not take that game 1 for granted and go back to their game plan?
Well, you just got to stay focused. It's going to be very difficult for either team to really refocus after a game like that. For Orangeville, that hurts, and for London, that makes you you don't want to get complacent, but you're kind of feeling yourself after a game like that. So it's going to be important for both teams to come out here and completely erase that game from their memory. You know, they talk about a quarterback after he throws an interception. You got to move on to the next play, wipe it from memory. I think both teams have to do that for this game.
Royce White had a triple-double. How do you stay consistent after that performance?
Well, you look at what's been working for you, and really what Royce White did in this game is what we've been seeing all season long. He didn't do anything new. He didn't do anything that said wow or earth-shattering. He just played his game. So, you know, you stick to the game plan. You know, Kyle Julius got these guys prepared night in and night out. That's not going to change. And, you know, play basketball. To your point, though, Chris, I think you're absolutely right. You forget about what happened for both squads. Funny, I quickly said, hey, Ryan, man, you had a great game last game. Your first reaction? That's old news on, man. Let's go on.
Beautiful. Quickly, game plans for both of these clubs. Off you go, Chris.
Well, again, Orangeville, I think, go inside. They really should lean on Corbin Thomas and Justin Moss. That worked out so well for them in the second half. And I think maybe if Lear Hollis Jefferson's, you know, he's had 2 more days to feel a little bit better, get over that concussion. If they can get him going in this game, it could be a very different outlook. For London, I think you want to stick to the same game plan. They shot well from outside, and that set up a lot of what Royce was doing on the inside. So I think you want to make sure you get those threes in early and then work from there.
And Audley, what do you think?
You know, when you look at what London did to Orangeville, and you look at the personnel that Orangeville has on their roster, I think they have the ability to do a little bit of that to them as well. You saw the ball movement, the 34 assists. You know, you saw lots of guys crashing the boards. I think the Orangeville A's have that personnel and can do a bit to that. And, you know, so when you've had it done to you, you know what it feels like. So now you have the opportunity to reverse the table and, you know, do what they did to you, man. That's what it's about.
Absolutely. Sit back, kick back, and enjoy yourself, folks, or rather keep on standing because this might be a close game. Game 2, A's and Lightning, Budweiser Gardens. I'm on the call upstairs, so you have no choice but to deal with me and Chris. You see, I'm already having doubts already, but no, we'll be fine. Audley, it's a pleasure to have you here, man.
Thanks for letting me crash the party.
No problem. All right, folks, stick around. Anthems and starters coming up right here. This is the NBLC Playoffs on Knockstrom.tv.
years, and they can help you turn your dreams into reality with all your outdoor landscaping and carpentry needs. They create award-winning landscapes all within your budget, and they're also proud supporters of your London Lightning. And at this time, for the ceremonial tip-off, we'd like to welcome from Edward & Sons, Chris and Matt Edwards to center court. Come on, guys. Let's have a big round of applause for Chris and Matt. We'd also like to ask from the Orangeville A's, Rick Botterford, and from your London Lightning, Kyle Johnson, to come in for the tip-off. Thank you very much to Chris and Matt Edwards from Edward & Sons. We'd now like to call upon the Commissioner, David Magley, to make a couple of presentations. Commissioner?
First of all, Coach Julius, come on in, please. This season is a record season for the NBL Canada. We had a team go 35-5 and set a new record. The team started off 2-2 and have won 33 of their last 36 games, which is just remarkable. They've won 19 out at home. And the thing about it is this tireless work.
As we continue to collect our breaths, we welcome all of you back to Budweiser Gardens here on Nonstrom.tv. This is Aaron Sanders alongside Chris Croucher and the Commissioner of the NBLC, David Magley, making a special presentation. So we'll stand idly by.
They're honoring Coach Julius and the London Lightning, that 35-5 season. Of course, an NBL record for wins.
And that's the team that did it. And possibly major contenders for the NBL Canada Trophy, Championship Trophy rather, after losing a heartbreaking 7-game series to the Halifax Hurricanes last year. But now, London is the cream of the crop.
You know they've got revenge on their mind. They're thinking this entire playoff run about that Halifax series and the difficulties that they met throughout that series. And, of course, the fact that they were so close, within seconds even, of winning a third NBLC championship. That's really what's been driving and motivating this team throughout here. And up next, we're having another one here to honor Vito Frigia, the owner of the London Lightning and GM of the team.
And we'll stand at attention and observe this presentation.
There's a lot of things that Vito has done for this league that a lot of you don't know. There's a lot of support, there's a lot of direction that he's given me. All the new franchise we bring come to the London Lightning games first. He's the first one that steps up and does whatever I need for the league, and he's the reason why if we have success right now, it's because it's been the direction of Vito Frigia, the president of the league. So on behalf of the NBL Canada, this award is in recognition of 2 amazing years of leadership. Vito has served this league well and provided direction, support, and management as it has helped guide us to a level of success difficult to see when we took over in tumultuous times. Thank you for all you have done for this league and for me as a fan.
All right, we continue with the pregame ceremonies.
I should clarify something. That was actually 2 awards being handed out there. Kyle Julius receiving the NBL Canada Coach of the Year award from Commissioner Magley there. I don't think anyone in the NBLC is really going to argue that with the kind of season that they've had here in London, breaking records left, right, and center, really. And a well-deserved honor there for Kyle Julius. And again, Vito Friggia also being honored for his service to the league and receiving a plaque there from the commissioner as well.
And I don't see no doubt about that, considering he was Coach of the Month for the months of February, March, and the final month in April, so 3 months in a row. And once again, it proves how well-disciplined this London Lightning team is.
Apparently we're celebrating a couple of, I believe we're celebrating, pardon me, I'm not sure what this is for.
I would speculate it would be their birthdays, I would assume.
Sounds like it.
Okay, guys, and the rest of the team, come on out, ready, guys? And happy birthday to everyone else in the
Yep, they're celebrating the birthdays there for Mo Bolden, Junior Cadogan, and Marvin Singleton there.
Ready, let's go here. I can't see.
Very generous.
And they're taking their 3rd team photo of the pregame. And singing happy birthday.
Very charming.
Carly, everyone. Happy birthday to you. All right, let's hear it for him, folks. Come on.
And how about that, folks?
That's a new one.
Coach of the Month, GM dedication, and birthdays all celebrated at the same time. And one more touching and beautiful photo.
All right, one more thing. Go Lightning!
And now, I believe PA announcer Mike Delohe will lead the crowd to the starting lineups for both teams. Orangeville A's will be introduced first. We see in their lineup Rick Boddiford, Anthony Harris, Alex Superman Johnson, Daquan Cook, and returning reliever Hollis Jefferson.
Interesting look there for the Orangeville A's, I would say. It's not drastically different than what we saw in the final game of the season. However, they're definitely going a little smaller, putting Cook in at essentially the center spot and reliever Hollis Jefferson playing the power forward. I think they're trying to go for some speed there, and maybe that's what they think London can be beat with. We saw London had some struggles with speed at times during the season. You think of some of the games Maurice Jones and Jahi Carson were able to have against the London Lightning. So those smaller, quick guards and speed out on the outside has been giving them fits, but it hasn't worked for Orangeville yet this year. And so I think they're just taking another swing at it here.
Absolutely. They're going to need a lot of coverage on the defensive end, too. We've seen earlier in Game 1, they set on the zone defense, which really limited Royce White. But the problem with the zone defense is you can't use it a lot because, of course, the opposition's going to read you. So you're going to need a lot of depth and a lot of speed to cover up on that defense if you want to get in over the Lightning's head.
Well, even with when you put those smaller players in there, you've now got guys like Ryan Anderson and Kyle Johnson who are going to have a height advantage. You're not really going to be able to get in front of those three-point shots the way you might want to, and we all know how strong London is at shooting the three from those wing positions and being able to drain those shots. That's something that we mentioned in our pregame. Might be a key to the game for London is making those threes early, and that's why I worry about this move from Orangeville, because maybe now you're giving them the opportunity to make those.
And it will be a close game if all of that comes to fruition for the Orangeville A's. Of course, they needed to take away home court advantage right before they go back to the Athletic Institute in a couple of days. So a lot riding for Orangeville, but all the same for the London Lightning, who look to take a 2-0 edge.
And again, the way the playoffs are structured, especially at this point with the 5-game series, you end up with a lot of different scenarios can happen here, because really this game is a swing game, because it either gives Orangeville a 1-1 tie or it puts them on the edge of defeat. So for Orangeville, this is probably the most important game of their season yet, and potentially their most important game for all of the playoffs. If they can get this here, they can control their destiny just a little bit more. But if you let London get one here, then you have to go home and fight with your back against the wall as opposed to being able to play your game.
And within the last few weeks of the regular season, the Orangeville A's have been playing with destiny. They've been playing with fate. They were able to get one last win in Niagara. That's why they are here. That's why they have the 4th seed playing against the London Lightning. So everything matters from here on out. No days off as we see the starting lineup being introduced for the London Lightning. And no big significant changes for the Lightning. We have Kyle Johnson starting out as the 1 guard. And as the 2 guard, you have Junior Cadogan coming out. Garrett Williamson and Royce White, they're filling in too. And Ryan Anderson, who really went off on a scoring tear on Thursday night. So they pretty much expect the same types of shots being made here tonight.
And you know, for London, this is pretty much their death lineup. This is the lineup that whenever they put it into games, they usually are winning on the court. This is the lineup that they've been able to pull ahead of teams with. This is the lineup that they claw their way back in. Not that they've had to do it a ton in this whole season, really. So a very not shocking reaction from London. But again, when you win the way that they did in Game 1, you really put the weight on Orangeville's shoulders. You can keep doing what you're doing because you won by 30. But Orangeville's the team that has to make the adjustments. They're the ones that have to make you change your game plan. So for London, more of the same because it worked for Orangeville. They're going to have to show something here early to put that little seed of doubt into the London Lightning.
And they're playing nonchalant the way they're starting out with their lineup, like you said, Chris. So everything has to go down immediately, especially with the run and gun format that the Lightning has been playing all season. The Orangeville A's, as you mentioned, they're going small in their lineup, but it can be a major benefit for them when it comes to the speed. It only matters of who gets the first basket, who draws first blood, because Game 2, all or nothing, home court advantage is at stake.
Let's hear it for your London Lightning.
Of course, we got the Hoosier slow clap going here. It wouldn't be a Lightning game without it.
And a wonderful London Lightning tradition. Capacity crowd here at Budweiser Gardens on their feet, awaiting tip-off. It's going to be a mighty fine game. We also have another mighty fine game going on in the east side. We have the St. John Riptide visiting the Island Storm. We'll check on that as we prepare here. 10-point edge for the Island Storm, 58-48, as they look to prepare for the second half. Island Storm so far grasping the lead, trying to get a 2-1 advantage, which for sure this game will go to 4 games.
Again, all the Lightning players giving some love to pretty much everyone along that court side there, shaking hands, getting everyone ready for what's going to be an absolutely intense game right here.
Lightning in a bottle. We're going to find out what these teams are made of. I'm especially going to like the matchup between Anderson and Rick Bodiford. That's going to be pretty interesting because when it comes to the transition game, these two really know how to spur these teams on.
Well, Bodiford's essentially going to be playing the small forward role.
Yeah.
And he's one of those few guys in the backcourt who has the length to match.
And we're underway here in London, Ontario.
It's going to be a foul.
A's and the Lightning right here. Budweiser Gardens, glad you're joining us. And right out of the gate, an offensive foul. So a lot of firepower riding on the first possession for the Lightning, but, you know, that's the sort of intimidation you really need to put on if you're going up against Orangeville.
Yeah, I definitely think the energy level kind of got Kyle Johnson a little caught up there. Pretty clear push-off, trying to make that layup.
And the A's start with the possession. Devon Cook over goes to Superman Johnson. Right inside. Royce White got the defensive assignment going up against Relier Hollis Jefferson, who banks it in and draws first blood for the Orangeville A's. Cadogan over to Anderson, right on the corner. Misread that pass. That was intended for Johnson, and the A's have everything going up roses for them as they get another possession of the ball.
Yeah, and this is kind of the start the A's would be really happy to see here. London commits 2 mistakes of their own doing, and the Orangeville just able to play a nice little solid game here and get their feet under them in front of this crowd before they have to, really start getting into the battle.
Relier on the spin move, Looks for Cook. He's got it. He puts it up. No good. Rebound by Royce White. And here come the Lightning. Just underway here. Anderson stops, pops. No shot for the three. There's a rebound. Boy, oh boy, Johnson, the speedy demon. Over he goes to Harris. Drives inside, fires it from the free throw line, gets it to go.
And that's a good shot there for Anthony Harris. You don't usually like to see mid-range nowadays. It's a big analytics thing. But I think if you get a shot like that, you have to take it. And that time, Anthony Harris able to convert.
And he shot with confidence. That's the beauty of it, too. Anderson swooping in with the little ice cream scoop. That does not go.
Much improved interior defense from the A's here. London not cutting as easily as they did last game.
No question about that. And that's Superman on the drive.
Tough shot there from Alex Johnson over the much taller defender.
How about that? Driving in was Cadogan. He gets fouled. And you know, like I mentioned a few days ago in Game 1, the A's did a great job guarding the post when they went to the zone defense, but now they're really tightening up on it, making sure they deny every shot or pretty much anybody from the Lightning that decides to go inside. Cadogan off to the line, shooting 2.
You know, Junior Cadogan, a guy who's absolutely crucial to this London Lightning team. Unfortunately, misses the first free throw there. But he's really their floor general type. He's able to take command of the offense, and I don't think we've seen him even hit 20 points, but that's fine because when you watch him play, you realize it's more than just the scoring. He does so many things right for this team.
Cadogan misses 2 of his free throws, and here's Hollis Jefferson once again on the drive. Kicks it out. 3-point shot is missed, and here comes the Lightning once again. Royce running it. Look at him going in the mid-post.
Great defense by Cook on White.
Kyle Johnson, the fadeaway, goes off the board. And here comes Harris. He puts it up and in. Not a good look for the London Lightning, who are suffering in the transition game, and that's why Orangeville is up 8-0. Cadogan, over it goes. 2 passes later. Kyle Johnson at the top. Back to Junior. Now Ryan Anderson, one-on-one against Johnson. And a strip away from the ball.
I think that's going to be a foul on Anthony Harris there. He went for the steal, but nicked Ryan Anderson on the hand there. Going to see a substitution already. Joel Friesen coming into the game for Kyle Johnson.
Once again, filling in the void. That's what the London Lightning is doing right now. They have to put points on the board.
We're just looking at that replay of Relier Hollis Jefferson. That was a beautiful bucket there.
And Ryan Anderson with an ice cream scoop with the right hand scores the first 2 points for the Lightning. Now they cut the lead within 6 with 9:10 to go in this opening frame. Harris. Cook stripped away by Anderson. One-on-one. Loses Bodiford in his steps. Alley-oop. Nope. Cadogan, he had the good thought, but he could not control the ball.
Yeah, just a little bit out of control play there from the London Lightning, and this has been kind of not the greatest start for this team. Obviously, they want to be putting up points in a much quicker fashion, but for London, this isn't anything to panic over just yet. They're actually getting a couple of nice looks. They just haven't been able to execute.
And they'll have to do it soon enough. Relier Hollis Jefferson draws the foul. That's going to be on Williamson. That was in the act of shooting, so he'll go to the line.
And we talked in the pregame about how Hollis Jefferson, 2 days of game time between obviously game 1 and game 2. Those 2 days make a bigger difference for him than most other players, because for him that's 2 days further removed from the concussion he suffered. And so for him, he's a guy who's coming in here, he's probably feeling a little bit better, he's feeling a little more confident in his play, and he could come in here and have a big game. Of course, one of the top scorers for the Orangeville A's and one of the top scorers in NBL Canada. He's a guy that if he's 100%, he could really get going for the A's.
And you could really ride on his back when you need clutch situations like that, as Hollis Jefferson knocks down the free throw. 10-2 in the early goings of this Game 2 here at Budweiser Gardens. Herring Jr.'s in the game now. He has it. Skips it over the Friesen. Now Royce White's going to go to work. Goes inside the post, sizes down, draws the foul.
Dacon Cook, he's doing a good job defending Royce White, but White, just such a tough load to handle that Cook had no choice but to foul there. I understand what he's going for with the steal, but I mean, Royce White's so quick. When he just even moves the ball from hand to hand, when he moves those small little movements of the ball within his hands, that can really throw off a defender, especially when you go for that pick. And that time, Daquan Cook, he's going to foul.
Royce misses his first free throw, and this is kind of a unfamiliar vice for the London Lightning, missing out on 3 free throws, and after all that, they knocked down 1. So, if you put in all that work to go down to the basket, you have plenty of time to make those free throws, so they have to be comfortable in making those shots easily in the early going. Corbin Thomas, he had it, now Bodiford. Gets it inside, Alex Johnson on the pull-up, no shot, Friesen with the rebound. Anderson gets it back at the corner, now Royce White once again working inside, right hand, no.
Slim McGee, again, like Daquan Cook, really doing a great job defending, dealing with the physicality that Royce White brings.
Well, Slim McGee picked up double digits in the previous game. He finished off with 14 points and 6 rebounds. I mean, a really good pickup for the Orangeville A's, not only as the season as a whole, but of course in Game 1, despite the deficit. But he brings so much force for the front court here.
And he's another one of those guys who's dealing with an injury, and now that he's back, he's starting to get his feet under him. This Orangeville team could be very dangerous.
Royce White with the slam.
Huge dunk there from Royce White. He wants a foul. I think he might have got the foul there. But a huge play from Royce White, and there's the physicality. He just blew Slim McGee right off of him. Just no chance.
With that, he revitalized the London Lightning team right here. Slim McGee tried to slam it. The donut missed the coffee. Tries to put it back. No good. Here comes the Lightning. Dougie to the basket. Puts it in.
Doug Herring Jr., a very tough bucket there. He's been one of the key contributors. London didn't make a ton of moves this year, but one of the big ones was bringing Doug Herring Jr. in. Not only has he been a good scorer, as we've seen in his NBL history, but also in the assist game, he's broken a ton of records for the Lightning.
Pick up for the Lightning. Williamson slam dunk. He sends it home to Mama, which prompts up Brandon Lavoski. Timeout. What a run for the London Lightning as they cut the lead to only 1 point.
And just like that, all that confidence Orangeville was feeling, that, man, we got this, that just goes away in an instant. And that might be even more hurtful than London going on a run right to begin the game. The fact that London was able to come in and have that kind of a run right when Orangeville was starting to feel themselves, that's going to give them some trouble. We're going to see some replays right here. Huge dunk, Royce White. And again, Slim McGee, he came off of Royce just a bit too much. Didn't really give himself much of a chance to recover on that play. And Royce White's not a guy you want to lose.
Doug Herring Jr. once again, he maintained body language and body control on his way to the rim, as you see. But once again, the previous play, Garrett Williamson slamming it home. Orangeville was way behind on the play, but that's the type of run and gun offense that the London Lightning has provided in the whole season.
Well, Coach Julius really believes that transition basketball is the staple of his offense, and everything about his time here in NBL Canada has shown that. I mean, he's put together the highest scoring team in league history with a 115 point per game average. That's an astronomical number, and to have that come in here and be able to use that transition game to get themselves back into this game quickly. And we talked about how it's about Orangeville having to answer. That time there, London had to answer for probably the first time in the series, and they answered emphatically with a great run there. So again, Orangeville's got to come up with the answers here. Now Orangeville has to come up with the how are we going to stop London, because you know in the back of their head that when London goes on that run, in the back of their head they're thinking about game one, and they don't want to let that they don't want to see that kind of a run get out of control like it did in game one.
And it all begins on the running game on Orangeville's side. They had a good lead in the early goings of this game, but the London Lightning picked up where they were slacking, and now they have the 1 point trail. It's 10-9 in the early goings of game 2.
Ooh, Ryan Anderson read that.
He read that perfectly, almost got the steal. On the pull-up is Hollis Jefferson. He misses it, and here goes Royce White once again. Garrett on the drive. Picks up the foul, but good take by Williamson.
Yeah, practically got mugged on the way to the rim, but a great effort by Williamson. And this is what Williamson does. One of the ways he generates his offense, and I'd say his most effective one, is when he really aggressively goes to the rim, and whether he finishes or not, he more often than not ends up at the free throw line, and that's where he racks up a lot of his points. In fact, he's got the record in franchise history for most free throws made in a game, and I believe it was 20 attempts in that game. So, I mean, of course you're going to be in record hunting territory with that.
And aside from a slow start, the London Lightning are actually shooting 50% from the field. Orangeville has dropped down to 40 on 4 of 10 shooting as Williamson misses the second shot.
And remember, a lot of the way Orangeville got that run was because London had a couple turnovers there that really gave Orangeville a foot in the door, so to speak. And now London's trying to close it and kick that foot right back out.
The A's have the ball again. That was a good pick. And another pull-up missed. Look who's there to swoop in for the rebound, Anthony Harris.
Yeah,
Rick Bodiford, my mistake.
Everyone was watching the shot there, and Bodiford just Johnny on the spot with the rebound. Great play. Ooh.
Dug to the basket. What a great block by Hollis Jefferson. Garrett Williamson retracts for a three.
What a crazy possession there. First on the one end, you've got, you've got the block by Relier Hollis Jefferson, but still ends up in a three. London lucky to come away with that one. That was a huge play by Jefferson.
What an impressive sequence. Man. Jameson Tipping tried to get the rebound, but loses his footing, goes out of bounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd love for you to...
Yeah, just unable to tap the toes like a wide receiver on the sideline there. That's 2 football references. We're way away from football.
We're on a roll. We're on a roll so far.
And happy birthday!
I don't know, I say let's keep it up. Corbin Thomas comes back into the game for the A's. And just about 5 minutes to go right here in the first quarter. Game 2 between the A's and Lightning. Aaron Sanders alongside Chris Croucher. Herring absorbs the contact and will go to the line.
Poor Joel Friesen got bowled over on that play. Corbin Thomas turned around, and Friesen happened to be running that same direction, so a little bit of an impact for both players, but Friesen got the worst of it.
But it helped out Doug Herring to open up inside for him to take matters in his own hands. He misses the first free throw. And once again, to piggyback on what you said about Doug Herring Jr., one of the powerful bench players for the Lightning. I mean, he has consistent shooting. He's basically the underdog of this London Lightning team.
And I don't know if you can... Obviously, you can call them a starter by the number of starts, obviously. But in terms of the quality of the player, I don't know if Doug Herring Jr. is your typical bench guy. He'd probably be starting for almost every other team in this league. But London's just got such a luxury of depth that they're able to utilize.
Williamson up and in. Once again, he's becoming a big factor, especially in finishing strong in the transition game that the Lightning has been providing so far. Johnson. Hollis Jefferson goes off the pick, fires it from around 20, he gets it to go.
Hollis Jefferson's a problem right now. He's making at will against the London Lightning right now. We only saw the one miss from him against Royce White, where he had the much taller defender in his face. But I think he's getting everything he wants a little too easily.
An impressive way to come back after the concussion he has suffered. It looks like he has not have any rust at him at all.
Again, we saw him play a little bit in Game 1 and then not much, and I think that was more a case of resting him and making sure he's 100%. I think it's a case if it was close, he could have played, but because it wasn't, they let him rest, and now he's come here with some fresh legs.
Tipping, fires a three, and it goes. Great assist from Enrico Di Loreto, to boot.
Yeah, that's a great shot there from Jameson Tipping, and you almost forget he can nail those threes because he plays such a pesky game on the inside. That's going to be a foul there on Ryan Anderson, just shoved him.
That's becoming a problem for the London Lightning, and once again, Jameson Tipping, he was last week's Player of the Week to close out the regular season. One of the main reasons why they captured the 4th seed in dramatic fashion as they did. But now, considering where the A's go from here on out, Jameson Tipping could be the trigger man for some of these crucial plays. DiLoretto up top. Over it goes to Thomas. James and Tipping again. Fires it. And once again, James and Tipping making an impact. Makes 2 in a row.
Yeah, that's 2 guys on the A's who seem to be feeling it right now. That's not a good omen.
Reason inside to Royce. He's going to go to work. Good spin move. Leaves Corbin dry, but misses the shot. And here comes the A's. Disadvantage. Now it's a 3-on-3. DiLoretto fires a 3. Goes off. It's a rebound by Thomas, who kicks it outside to Bodiford for another 3. This Orangeville A's team, a big contrast from how they were playing 48 hours ago. Doug on the drive, inside the Royce, fires it, no good, but he'll go to the line.
Gonna see some substitutions here. Looks like Junior Cadogan coming in for Joel Friesen, I believe. Marcus Capers in the game as well. Looked like he was getting ready to put Marvin Phillips in, but still standing on the sideline there.
And for the rest of the way, the Lightning are in the bonus situation as Royce White misses another free throw. And unfortunately, that makes them 3 of 9 from the charity stripe right now after being given so many opportunities to go inside.
3 of 10.
3 of 10.
Got to make your free throws, kids.
That's very unfortunate for them, but it's the Orangeville A's advantage.
Great move by Justin Moss there.
Man.
Very powerful.
And they're going to have to rely on him, too, when it comes to the front court game, so...
Well, this is the front court combo I thought was most effective against London in Game 1 of Corbin Thomas and Justin Moss. We'll see if they can get anything going in this game.
Marvin Phillips comes into the game for the first time tonight, so we're going to see how much he could provide for this Lightning team that needs to get back in this one. Phillips up, no good, tried to tap it off the backboard but couldn't, but gets the rebound to boot, behind the back, pass inside the Johnson, count that baby, and a foul. What a doozy.
Well, fans loving it right now. Kyle Johnson making a great play, absorbing the contact, finishing, but Marvin Phillips, that behind-the-back pass, we're going to see the replay right here. Just absolutely beautiful. Takes you out of your seat.
Bodiford and Moss got burned on that play, even though Bodiford tried to follow Kyle Johnson on it, but he had no choice but to take the foul. Johnson knocks down the N1. It's a 3-point game. Now DiLoretto paces down, looking for an opening. That opens up James and Tipping. Catch and shoot. And once again, this is the guy that you really want to get all fired up if you are the Orangeville A's.
That's a quick 8 points there from Jamison Tipping. He's really feeling it right now. Looked like Cadogan hit a wet spot just there.
Cadogan loses his footing off of that. Phillips fires the 3. Put her there.
He was looking for that one too. He ditched Justin Moss with the ball fake. Excellent job opening that shot up for himself and then able to bury it.
And that's a rare thing to do in the league with that magnificent ball fake. You never know what will happen if you use it. Whistle on the play, it's going to be off the ball.
Yeah, I think they're going to call that one on Marcus Capers there. Pardon me, that's on Doug Herring Jr. He was battling with Jamison Tipping. You know, that's one of the ways Jamison Tipping, he can not only make shots, but he also gets under your skin just a bit, and you end up taking some silly fouls against him.
And Jameson Tipping so far just putting on a shooting clinic. Still perfect from the field.
Well, him and Hollis Jefferson had a really energizing start to this game. Of course, Rick Bodiford had that big 3, but Hollis Jefferson and Tipping really creating some of their shots and finishing them really gave Orangeville that sort of pump up that they needed early in this game to motivate themselves and give them that sort of, you know, we got this kind of attitude.
Orangeville's not letting up, and they should not, because Game 2 is at stake, so is home court for them. They lose, they go down 0-2. A win here guarantees a Game 4 at the Institute in a couple of nights.
Was there a technical on that play?
I believe so, but
we're going to have to find out that for you, folks, because that's the only reason I can imagine that the ball's back in Orangeville's hands here.
we'll check back on the tape as this game develops. Look at that stop pop. Alley-oop to Capers, and once again cannot get it to go. He had too much space on the rim, if you ask me. And now we're going to have what we like to say a friendly conversation.
Marcus Capers doing a great job being peacekeeper there, keeping guys away. Rick Bodford needs to stay right out of there, though.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good for them, because if technicals fly out galore, then that's going to hurt the Orangeville A's, because they're doing a great job in the first quarter. They can't dull it down with such extracurricular activity like this.
Well, even in just the short-sighted view, Bodford's been one of the few guys who's been able to get going. He had a pretty good game one. He's been one of the guys who's been shooting well here. You can't afford to lose him at this point.
Absolutely. So we're going to see Capers go to the line. That's what it looks like. And the Lightning, of course, they have plenty of fouls to give. Only 2 fouls to give compared to nothing for the Orangeville A's. So
Look at the Marvin Phillips 3 right here. Great ball fake. Ditches Justin Moss, gets himself that space. Beautiful.
Gets him off his feet and get it to go. We'll get an official confirmation. It'll just be a basic foul. That'll be on James and Tipping. Marcus Capers will go to the line. The way Marcus Capers presented himself the last game, Chris, I mean, unbelievable. I did not know he had so much hops and vertical onto him that you would have to be here to realize how high this fella could jump.
Well, he just about tickled the rafters on that one alley-oop there, really reaching for the sky. And he's a guy who's really a huge part of this team, but you wouldn't know it if you looked at his stat sheet. You see he gets like a steal, a block, and you go, okay. But he's recently, before he was already a great lockdown defender, but now he's added that three-point shot to his arsenal, and now you're looking at a more typical 3-and-D guy. And anyone who watches basketball knows just how valuable having that guy who can make the open three and who can play lockdown defense really can be to a team. If you're an NBA fan, think of Danny Green type. And that's what Marcus Capers, especially recently, has been able to bring after adding that three-point shot.
And that equals up to an all-around player. Hopefully Marcus Capers could add on to the rage that the Lightning has been providing. Once again, another whistle on the play.
I think they're giving matching here to Herring and Corbin Thomas.
So, of course, it'll be a double foul. They will offset. And we're going to see Garrett Williamson come back into the game for London.
I think he's going to take off Capers here. Or pardon me, took off Doug Herring.
.104 to go in the first quarter. A's up 24-26. What a block by Marcus Capers. And that's a shot clock violation. Good pressure on the Lightning's end near the sideline.
Excellent job right there defensively by the London Lightning. And again, Orangeville starting to get some momentum. Now the game's slowed down a bit here. And now all of a sudden London getting a chance to put themselves back in the driver's seat.
And they could do it right here as the Dugan leads the offense. Phillips is going to play a little one-on-one. Steps back. Can't get it to go. Justin Moss with the rebound. Cross courts to DiLoretto. He goes on the drive. Pump fakes twice. Goes off the left side. No good. And a rebound by Corbin Thomas. 27 seconds to go. Moss with the left hand. Puts it up. Count it. He'll go to the line for the and one.
Just too strong, and then the finesse to finish at the rim. An excellent play by Justin Moss. Really one of the most impressive players here in NBL Canada. You know, I think if you were to say who are the, maybe top 5 impactful players in the league, guys who can really generate their own offense and really set themselves up on the inside, I think Justin Moss has to be on that list. Again, he was right up there with Relier Hollis Jefferson for leading scorer on this team.
His speed impresses me too, and of course his presence inside.
We haven't really seen it yet, but off the pick and roll, he's fantastic.
Moss can't connect on the and one. It was last touch by the Lightning. Garrett Williamson tried to take a stab at it.
They're actually going to say that's last touch by the A's there.
Pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting.
Looked like a battle between Cadogan and DiLoretto for that.
So the Lightning will look for the final shot. Close out the quarter. They trail by 4. 10 seconds. Cadogan being shifty. Now he slows things down 5 seconds. Cadogan. Outside. 3 by Johnson. And no good. So an impressive start by the Orangeville A's as they take a 28-24 lead to end the first quarter.
Yeah, and I thought the A's did a really good job in that quarter of setting their own tone. And the thing is, London kind of shot themselves in the foot too, and that goes to show simply from shot attempts. Orangeville got 25 shots off London, only 16. And the turnovers are about the same, but there were a couple of times there where London just sort of either had it, maybe just not a good pass, or a shot that was kind of forced up because it was late in the shot clock. So Orangeville did a good job of getting themselves those extra opportunities to try and keep up with the London Lightning, and that worked out really well here. We're going to see this nice cut to the basket here by Alex Johnson, and then we're going to switch to some other plays. But this one right here, Alex Johnson put this little teardrop right over Royce White that I thought was absolutely beautiful.
Jameson Tipping and Rick Bodiford leading the Orangeville A's to scoring.
Let's put our hands together for the adventure.
Tipping 9 points, and then Bodiford 7 points. Wheeler Hollis Jefferson ended with 6. Leading the way for the London Lightning, Garrett Williamson with 8 points. No one else over 3. For the London Lightning, though, I think that was it wasn't their best quarter, and I don't think anyone on that bench is going to say it was. But I think they didn't play all that badly. They just need to clean it up a bit and make sure they aren't losing the shot attempts as much as they are right now. Also, make your free throws. That's they're looking at 7 points that could have been on the board in their name that are instead just gone with the wind. So for the London Lightning, they could have been up in this game by 3 points. And if you simply make your free throws, they're shooting only 46%. One of the other areas with Orangeville I thought was impressive, rebounding. They lost the rebounding battle in game 1. 15-8 rebounds now in this game for Orangeville. I think that's a huge difference from game 1. And we talked about those extra opportunities. Rebounding, one of the ways you get them. Turnovers, one of the ways you get them. And if you tie in turnovers and lead in rebounds, you're getting more shots. And that's what we're seeing from Orangeville right here.
And Orangeville's following their shots too. I mean, think of the guards, for example. They're doing a fantastic job at that. Now they have a 4-point edge as we open up the second quarter.
And I like that they kept Corbin Thomas, Justin Moss out here. We talked about how that was an effective combo, and they're a big part of that rebounding change in terms of how London was having a little more difficulties getting the rebounds that would have been easier. Now you've got 2 bigger bodies also fighting for those boards. Makes it harder for London to rack up rebounding numbers of their own.
Second quarter just underway. The A's have the ball. Jameson Tipping at the corner, fires and goes. That will count as a 2 because he had his foot on the line.
He's still hot though, and that's something you really got to get on if you're London. You can't let him keep taking those shots.
He's 4 for 4 from the field goal range. Johnson fires a 3, gets it to go.
Jameson Tipping doing everything he could to not draw a foul there. Great shot by Kyle Johnson, heavily contested.
Good contest, but better shot. Offensive foul by the A's.
Yeah, it's going to be a push-off on Jameson Tipping there.
A little too much aggression for Tipping. I mean, he's in the shooting rage right now. Once again, perfect from the field, 4 for 4.
More importantly, 2 of those are 3s, and Orangeville struggled. They didn't have a single 3-pointer made in the first half. And in this game, they've already come out and made 3. That's pretty much almost as many as they had in the entire game 1.
Johnson on the pull-up over 2 guys. Can't get it to go. Orangeville with the A's again. That's Corbin Thomas seizing it up. Wheeler Hollis Jefferson fires a 3. Goes off the front. Johnson with the rebound. Here comes Cadogan. Gets the foul.
Yeah, they're going to call the blocking foul there on Alex Johnson. I believe that's going to be on the floor, though.
It will be on the floor. Seen a little too much aggression from Cadogan on the drive right there. Once again, he had plenty of space on the left side, but I don't think he wanted to stop and reset everything.
I'm okay with that play, though, for Cadogan. He's a guy who, when he really puts his head down and goes to the rim, more often than not, he makes the play, and he's done a great job drawing fouls in those situations. So even if you just get the foul, and then maybe you're able to get some points here, I still like that move by Cadogan, just because it's the right mindset to have when you're going to the rim.
Royce White back into the game. Williamson on the pump, fires it, gets it to go.
Garrett Williamson, by far the most effective member of the London Lightning. That gives him 10 points already. 3 of 3, perfect shooting. pardon me, 4-4 now.
Overall, the London Lightning picking up the pace. Hollis Jefferson on the pull-up, banks it in. So Hollis Jefferson's getting into the string of things well, as we see Cadogan wires it to Williamson. Draws the foul.
Fans, meet the London Lightning team at 93 King, directly across the street from Budweiser Gardens, Gate 1. After every home game, 93 King is the official...
So as you mentioned already, Garrett Williamson picking up the pace. He has 10 points. He's the leading scorer for the Lightning. Now he's back to the line.
He's a little bit of a Mr. Do-Everything for the London Lightning. Of course, when they needed a scorer back in 2013-14, he was their leading scorer, averaging 19 a game as a member of the Bolts, winning Canadian of the Year that year. But he hasn't necessarily needed to be that go-to scorer here. He's scored when they haven't had anything going. He certainly puts up numbers, but they haven't needed him to be that prolific scorer, and instead what he's done is provided great defense on the wing, and he also is a steadying presence when he has the ball in his hands too.
And he provides everything off the ball too, as Hollis Jefferson misses the leaner. And as we say, the aforementioned Williamson has the ball, and it's taken away. And we got a slam dunk. Hollis Jefferson working the room.
That's going to give 10 points for reliever Hollis Jefferson. Again, a fantastic effort from him tonight. It seems like this is the difference between Game 1 and Game 2. Every punch London gives, Orangeville seems to have a counter punch. That wasn't the case in Game 1.
Looks like they're 2 steps ahead. Johnson for 3. And Orangeville was right on top of that. 3 men inside the post to get the rebound, and they did it well. Moss falling away, and he will draw the foul.
Going to be some mass substitution. Pardon me, not mass, but 2 substitutions here. We're going to get a replay of the foul there. I think they might be saying Garrett was in the restricted area. We'll get one more look at it. No, he was clean.
He wasn't. No.
Yeah, I think that's a 50-50 call that the refs went a different direction on.
As close as he was from the restricted area. Once again, you said
he wasn't in it.
No, he wasn't.
But then, again, it becomes a 50-50 call there for the ref, and if they're unsure, they're more likely than not going to side with the ball handler.
So with Friesen and Anderson coming in, that's going to bring a lot more confidence in terms of shooting for the London Lightning offensively, but defensively, these guys can lock up pretty much anybody they get their hands on, so we're going to have to watch steer clear of that. Friesen has it. Hollis Jefferson on him. Williamson on the drive. Skips it out. Anderson for 3. Got it.
And that's the kind of shot that they've been looking for. Ryan Anderson, their best 3-point shooter. One of the best in the league, able to connect that time.
This is a guy that could catch and shoot and square up in pretty much any position he's at the court. As we have Cook going back up to the top. Hollis Jefferson looking to drive. Garrett Williamson won't let him. Still at the top of the key. Fires for the 3. Nothing to it. Friesen with the rebound.
Big rebound, too. They really needed that one.
Cadogan on the drive. Speedy Demon. Goes off the glass, but another foul. But a good drive by Junior.
And there's what I meant about that mentality when he goes to the rim. When he's just really aggressive, he puts his head down and goes for it. That's the kind of mentality you want to see a guy go to the rim with. And Junior Cadogan, you know, he's going to take people with him. He doesn't care how he gets it. He's going to the rim. And, I mean, you're either coming along or you're getting out of the way.
The only thing stopping him was Hollis Jefferson. Other than that, he had a clear way to the basket.
And when you play with that aggression, that's how you draw these fouls. Like, we've seen Cadogan do this twice now where he's drawn the foul on his way to the rim because he's just so determined that he's going to get points. And, I mean, it's up to the defender to try and stop him. And when a guy goes in with his head down and that kind of determination and grit, it makes it really difficult for a defender to do anything but foul him.
And we're gridlocked at 36 thanks to Cadogan's free throws. 8:30 to go here in the half. Tie game at 36. Harris. Can't make the 3. Here comes Anderson and the Lightning. White on Cook. Working his way in. Can't get it to fall. Bodiford thought about the three, but he pump fakes, gets it inside the Cook. Cook working on 2 London Lightning defenders, draws the foul.
Not sure I agree with the refs on that one, but Daquan Cook doing all the right things in this game. If he hadn't got those early fouls trying to defend Royce White there, he'd probably be looking at a much stronger game in terms of overall impact. But I think he's put in some great work when he's there, and that time just playing physical and able to get himself to the line.
But he found a way to break through the double teaming from the London Lightning at that last possession. And that's what Cook is capable of. I mean, we've seen him do that when he was part of the Storm, and now the Orangeville A's, another great acquisition for them as he misses the second free throw.
Got to make your free throws, kids.
Absolutely. That's footnote number 1 in the rules of basketball. 7:45. Harris goes off the reliever. Hollis Jefferson picks, gets the step on Royce White, swoops in and puts it in.
There's going to be a foul there after the play. Joel Friesen got knocked over there. Not sure who on the Orangeville A's that was on. That's going to be on Daquan Cook there. But looking at that play there from reliever Hollis Jefferson, the way he was able to make that and avoid the contact. Garrett Williamson was there waiting to try and draw the charge, but he avoided that contact and was still able to finish. Excellent effort.
And that puts the Orangeville A's on top by 2 points, 38-36. It's quite interesting that Orangeville has 5 fouls already, and an offensive foul on Royce White. That's really got to hurt them in terms of their confidence going right inside.
I think they might have just called a flagrant there.
We're going to look at it again. Oh,
yeah,
boy.
the arm a little high there.
Talk about such force. And that's going to be an unsporting foul on Royce White. So that's going to send the A's to the line and give them the possession.
Of course, the fans telling the refs what they think. Kyle Julius getting a warning here from the ref.
He's not happy about that call. Indeed.
I don't really blame him. The arm looked a little high, but I don't think there was anything intentional about it.
I mean, we mentioned before that the Lightning are doing a good job striking through to the rim and trying to finish.
Again, there's the replay. Ref's talking it over. They're going to stick with their call there.
This is going to be over. Nothing's going to be overturned in this situation.
Yeah, again, I agree with the foul. I'm not sure if it was intentional, but the ref saw intention, so that's going to be a nice chance here for Slim McGee to add some points for the Orangeville A's score. Free opportunity.
All things considered, what do you have to do if you're the London Lightning to overcome this and try to find other ways to make some buckets?
Well, I don't necessarily think they've done anything terribly wrong here. Obviously, you want to make your free throws, and they're getting beat on the boards. I think those are the 2 areas they want to look at. But for the most part, I think it's just eliminating some of the mistakes, and I don't think they need I think a lot of the players don't need a coach to tell them that. They probably recognize when they've made that mistake and are going to fix it themselves. And we're going to have a whistle here as they clean off a section of the court.
So the Orangeville A's comes out with a vengeance, which they could rightfully do so after what transpired in Game 1. And they're giving an emphatic statement to this London Lightning team.
You know, it's kind of surprising to me. London's only shot 7 threes. They've made 4 of them. But Orangeville really doing a great job limiting London's opportunities on the perimeter.
Alex Johnson over to Hollis Jefferson. Here's Moss on the drive. Gets the step on Phillips. An impressive arsenal that this fella has, I'll tell you that. Anderson, try to catch and shoot, but no, loses his footing, and here comes the A's once again. They're on to opportunity, Hollis Jefferson over the Barford, but they're going to be called for too many steps.
Yeah, I got caught tap dancing on that one.
Marcus Capers is going to come back in. He's going to fill in for Phillips. So plenty of ball to go here in this first half. 41-36, A's with the advantage.
You know, with this lineup on the floor, Justin Moss could feast on the offensive end, so look for Orangeville to try to take advantage of that.
Freezing pumps. Freezing pumps with a little up and under. And with the smaller ball lineup for the London Lightning, you're right about that.
But then we see Moss up at the top here. I don't know why you don't go inside there.
Could be a mismatch if you look at the string of things. Hollis Jefferson on the fall away, no good. Here comes Anderson. Friesen. Williamson, clean way to the basket. Gets it to go. How about that?
And we talked about how Garrett, he's that guy that whenever London needs something, he's the one that provides. And that time, London needs someone to step up. Garrett Williamson with a heck of a play to do exactly that for the London Lightning.
Impressive. He had a wide vision to the basket, as we see once again. Goes off the spin cycle, picks up his movement, goes right in, goes for the and one, which he connects.
And again, Garrett's going to have 17 of London's 41 points in this game. He's been a huge contributor. And I mean 17 points in a first half. That's a heck of a start to a game.
Fantastic. And an offensive foul called by the A's. London Lightning could retaliate.
Great job by Marcus Capers, and there's one of those impact plays he can make that isn't going to show up on a score sheet, but that could lead to a huge momentum swing here. If they get this extra possession, Justin Moss has to go sit on the bench. And if London can add some points here, that could swing the game in their favor.
They got a lot riding on them. They have 3 more fouls to give. They tied the game up, and we're not even halfway through the second quarter yet. Cadogan, second guess on that pass, but now Williamson, can he go to work again with his 17 points? Dives it to Cadogan, drives inside, he gets the foul.
And there again, Cadogan, even if he doesn't get the 2 points off the layup, just puts his head down, gets to the rim, draws the call. And again, another tough basket that he's unable to finish, but is going to send himself to the line.
Tie game at 41 as we have the media timeout. He'll go to the line right after that one. But once again, the London Lightning, plenty of fouls to give outside of the sportsmanlike foul. They're really picking up on the intensity, and the adrenaline is right on their side after all that.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it watching the game, but the fouls are actually 17-9, most of those being on Orangeville. So an interesting game, to say the least. For London, they've been rebounding better in the quarter, and I think that's led to them closing the gap and tying it up here, because again, London, they weren't generating extra opportunities. Orangeville had almost 9 extra shots in that first quarter. They've only had 1 extra shot in this quarter, so it's been a big difference for the London Lightning.
And to boot, once again, their field goal percentage keeps on riding up. They're at 52%, which is quite impressive considering the slow start they had, but they have been picking their shots wisely. On the other hand, Orangeville shooting 45%. Not a bad shooting display from those guys, but once again, the rebounding is in Orangeville's favor, a +6, 19-13, and that's basically the difference maker in this ball game.
Kind of an interesting thing to take a look at. Orangeville having most of their success going to the left on this London Lightning defense, so there's something to keep an eye as we continue in this game. Again, making more of their shots than they're missing if they go left on the floor, especially in that mid-range area. So keep an eye on that as this quarter continues.
So they're keeping attention on London's weak side in more ways than one, but all of a sudden it's a tie game at 41. Just under 6 minutes to go right here at Budweiser Gardens in Game 2 of the NBLC semifinal round. Once again, Aaron Sanders alongside Chris Croucher. Junior Cadogan draw the foul, so he'll go to the line, shoot 2. He knocks down the first one.
London really has cleaned up their free throw makes in this quarter. It's still not perfect, but they're doing a much better job.
But they really got to be wise on those turnovers too, because London's being outscored 11-10 off the turnovers. Not a big difference, but still, it's those shots that count too, especially the free throws, and you got to pass it wisely.
That's a surprising number too, because their turnovers are about even.
On the drive, Hollis Jefferson. He's just adding the punches right here for the Orangeville A's.
And, you know, we've seen guys go hot and put up some points in quick spurts, but Hollis Jefferson has really consistently been putting up points.
Williamson outside the Royce White picks up the foul.
Yeah, Rick Bodiford that time, I think he knew he wasn't going to get a block or anything on Royce White. Just foul him, send him to the line.
As Jameson Tipping returns to the game, it quite reminds me of one of the post-game interviews that I've done with Royce White a while ago. He said the only message he would give anybody that tries to go up against him to the paint is do your best. Even if it's a small guy, even if that a mismatch or pretty much a big guy, he just leaves it up to 3 words. Try your best.
I think you pretty much have to.
Yeah.
If you don't try your best, you're going to end up flat on your back. That's good advice.
Either that or on a poster. You never know.
Yeah, don't get hurt.
So 5:06 to go. Lightning with a 1-point edge. Whoa, Harris with the 3 on the pull-up. That goes flat. Williamson up and in.
Yeah, really misguided shot from Anthony Harris, and that leads to 2 points the other way.
And it was also a good look on the other end for Royce White. Once again, being unselfish. And that's just way far from half court, too. Harris got to pick up on the intensity. That's why he gave it to Johnson. Johnson on the pull-up from the top of the key. No good. Anderson ping-pongs for the ball, and he gets it. Here comes Williamson. Scooped away by Superman. Picks up his footing. Throws it down. Tipping on the drive. Falls away to Harris. Fires a 3 and matches his jersey number.
Makes it up right there after that air ball. Huge shot there. Jameson Tipping, great awareness, cutting to the rim and picking up Harris just sitting by the 3-point line.
It was a game of persistency on that possession as we see another offensive foul by the Lightning, and that's got to hurt them again.
You know, we don't really have like a stat that gets kept track of for that, but I have to think a lot of London's fouls in this game. They haven't had a ton. I'd say almost half of them have to have been offensive at this point in the game. And those are those missing possessions. Those are those possessions that you just kind of give away.
Royce White picks up his second foul of the ball game, so something to keep in mind in. Hollis Jefferson over once again to Harris. Falls away. No good for the 3. Cadogan goes through 3 defenders. Gets it inside. No good. Gets the ball back. Anderson, catch and shoot. That's his game. Nope. Tipping by Friesen. Nothing to it. And here comes the A's. Superman swoops in. Ryan Anderson will be called for the foul.
Yeah, and again, you're kind of dead to rights. You just have to foul him and hope he doesn't finish on you. Great job by Ryan Anderson there, but an even better job by Orangeville. Right in transition there, they caught London. A lot of guys trapped back deep in the offensive end there.
And Rick Boniford comes back into the game. So once again, we're seeing depth being upgraded for the Orangeville A's. They want to make sure they take a lead into the intermission, because that's something that can possibly be rare here on this Budweiser Gardens court. But then again, in the last few home games, the London Lightning trailed at halftime, but found their way to come back. But game 1 wasn't the case, as Royce White tries to size down. Steps inside, spins around, and another foul.
Yeah, I think that's going to be on Slim McGee there. Could have been on Bodiford, who I thought went for the strip too, but I believe it's on McGee.
And it will be on McGee. Now this is the type of situation that's very crucial for the London Lightning. If they buckle down, make these free throws, that could pretty much change the momentum for them, have more things to their advantage. as they keep on eating down this lead, and now Royce White's going to look for the tie. He's got it. So Johnson, he has the ball. He's guarded by Friesen, gives it quickly to Thomas. Tipping up top, bites off Friesen on the pull up, in and out. And here comes Royce White once again in the London Lightning. Under 3 minutes to go. White with the ball fake. Whistle on the play. They will not count it. He carried the ball, unfortunately, and that would have knocked the Budweiser crowd off their feet. But now they have to regroup as this ball game is tied up at 48. Johnson tried to look for Tippin, but instead got Bodiford on the left side. Goes off the corner. Thomas, right and everything, but that doesn't fall.
That's going to be a foul on Slim McGee, I believe. Looked like he kind of pushed off trying to grab that rebound there.
It's okay to be aggressive in the paint, but don't be too aggressive where you could easily be called for the foul. And you were right on that, Chris.
And that's going to be his 4th foul, too, so it's a costly one for him.
Relayer Hollis Jefferson gets a quick breather and comes right back in. Lightning are in the bonus situation as Royce White goes to the line again. And once again, nobody expected for this game to be deadlocked, but when it's game 2, anybody could have the advantage at the end of the day. Royce White splits those free throws as Superman Johnson will conduct the offense. Hollis Jefferson over the Bodiford. Very quiet so far until that shot. Drives inside. Hollis Jefferson swoops in and picks it up. One-point game for the A's. Anderson into White. Outside to Doug Herring Jr. Herring sizes up against Johnson. What a play! And put her there, Joel Friesen.
I don't even know how Doug Herring Jr. saw Joel Friesen there, because Herring Jr. had his back, turned to Friesen, and Friesen had literally just gotten to that spot. I was thinking it was a nice crafty move by Friesen that he might get a rebound out of, and all of a sudden the ball's flying and hits him right in the hands. Just a great play there.
Considering the double team that Orangeville displayed right in the post, you would think it would be a turnover, but once again, that's one in many things in Doug Herring Jr.'s arsenal.
Well, not only did I think he couldn't see the pass, but I also thought that the pass, like the lane he would have to fit it in, would be so narrow that there was no chance. So I was coming in here thinking, ooh, that's a nice move to get a rebound, and all of a sudden he ends up with 2 points.
And 2 minutes to go. Superman all by himself, but nothing to it. Great contest right there. Royce White on the drive. Tried to draw the foul, but nothing. Friesen. 2 passes later, Herring Jr. for 3. And that's Heartbreak City. That ball will go to the Orangeville A's. So you got to admire the intensity that Joel Friesen has been providing for this London Lightning team.
Looks like the ref talking to a fan here, telling the fan to calm down a bit.
Pretty much everything you could expect here at Budweiser Gardens. The fans here, very raucous. They know they are passionate for basketball, and they see their Lightning holding on to a small lead, which they are very unaccustomed to compared to what they seen 48 hours ago. And another turnover by the Orangeville A's.
Now at this point, you're just letting London continue to put some more wind in their sails right now. The London Lightning have to be feeling a lot better about the second quarter than they did about the first. They're leading this quarter 28-22 right now, and I think it's been a good go here, and they really start to feel a little bit better about how things are running. You get to go into the second half with that momentum, knowing that you took their haymaker and you're still standing. So this is a good thing for the London Lightning.
They're holding on to a 2-point game here. Royce, once again, at his place, inside the paint. Gets double-teamed. Bodiford strips it away. Williamson finds a way to swoop in. Herring Jr. on the follow. Doug stepping up. Under a minute to go. Hollis Jefferson picks up his footing. Couldn't get the leaner to go. And alley-oop to Marcus Caper.
Not the time for that.
Once again, untimely pass. And we invite you folks to stick around for the Knockstrom halftime. Audley Stevenson will join me courtside, and we'll break down a few game tips going on here, and as well as a nail-biter going on at the Eastlink Center in PEI.
Yeah,
that one coming right down the wire.
Very much down to the wire. A couple seconds left, 2-point game. That series tied 1-1, I believe. So this would be the split, so to speak, for the St. John Riptide if they continue to hold on.
And keep in mind, these two teams are playing another back-to-back playoff game as the Island Storm and Riptide will do battle once again tomorrow afternoon. So plenty of short time to regroup and probably look for an upset. Thomas with the right hand banks it in.
Yeah, he showed a little bit of that finesse around the rim in that game at the end of the season. I really like that look from Corbin Thomas.
Dougie all the way in.
Doug Herring Jr. is having a great second quarter. He's been a big spark to this team.
And one of the reasons they have a 5-point lead right now. Orangeville has 9 seconds. We're down to 6. Alex probably looking for an ISO. He does. Gets the step. Falls away. Gets blocked by Royce White. Garrett makes a wish. And it goes off the top of the backboard. Well, pretty much more aggressiveness from the London Lightning to pretty much describe how they played in the second quarter as they take a 5-point edge to the break. So as you guys check the highlights, I'll go downstairs. We'll have Audley Stevenson with us, and we'll have the Knockstrom halftime on the other side of this break. And we have a tight ball game here. It's a 5-point lead nonetheless for the London Lightning. I have Audley Stevenson joining me, and this was a type of game that this Budweiser Gardens crowd is very unaccustomed to, considering the slow start the Lightning had.
Yeah, London didn't have a great start at all, and the start that Orangeville had was what you'd expect them after again what we talked at the top of the broadcast in terms of the type of output that they had in that first game. That's in the past. That's history. Orangeville came out and had a definitive start, put a lot of pressure on the London Lightning, and they had to respond.
James in Tipping, he's just shooting like gangbusters, isn't he not?
Yeah, well, we saw him do this in the past when the Orangeville A's had to face the Niagara River Lions for that game-clinching playoff deciding game. Tipping showed up big in that fourth quarter, hitting some big shots, and it's great to see him do it again here.
And on the other hand, the London Lightning, after their slow start, it took a matter of players from the bench to take care of business. Doug Herring Jr., for example.
Yeah, I mean, Doug put pressure on the opposing guards, and Doug has a unique ability where he can score points as well as I like that. That happen often?
Yeah, well, I don't know. You never know.
Is that a first?
I guess so.
But Doug Herring Jr., he has the ability to score and distribute the ball, and he's just showing that he'll do what he needs to do, and he saw it tonight.
And now we have another close game, but it doesn't get as close as it does right here, right at PEI, because the Island Storm and the Riptide, they're going to overtime, tied game at 110, and pretty much the type of intensity you would expect from both of these clubs, 2 versus 3.
Well, listen, when you're in a short series, best of 5 series, every possession, every game, every play counts. And the Riptide they split their home and home. They had the first 2 games, they split that. Now they're going to Charlottetown with the intention of doing the exact same thing.
And considering they only have a short time to recover because they got to play another back-to-back in the series tomorrow afternoon. But it's no surprise that Anthony Anderson's leading scoring with 25 points.
Listen, in the first game we saw him go off for, I think he hit like 6 threes from ridiculous range. Second game they made some adjustments, the Island Storm did, and now he sort of responded as you would expect him to, as a guy that leads the league in scoring all the time.
So, you have a couple of MVP candidates, especially from not only the St. John Riptide, but the Island Storm, and of course you got a couple of MVP candidates on this court right here, Royce White. So I think it's going to be hard to decide who's going to be the MVP this year.
It's going to be an interesting when the ballots get sent out and the choices are made. I think it'll be really, really interesting because they're all, quite frankly, they're all worthy.
And if you're just joining us for the Notcham halftime, we have Audley Stevenson of NBL Canada joining us. So now everything's back right here at Budweiser Gardens.
Yeah.
It's a close game, 5-point game. If you're Brandon Lavotsky, what do you have to do to come back from what was a really crucial and tough second quarter for them?
I like how they use Relier Hollis Jefferson. I think he's got 14 points, 8 rebounds. He's got unique ability to score, but as well, he can crash the offensive glass, and that's going to be really, really important. I mean, I'm not going to put all the offensive responsibilities on him alone, but it's a team effort. But I like his ability and how he can put pressure and his length. He can bother them guards, create steals, get in the open floor, and I really, if you can find opportunities to get the ball through him on the offensive end, I think that's a good thing. Defensively, they can recover. If they go back to what they did in that first quarter, if they can replicate that, I think they're onto something.
And the London Lightning, we've seen a lot of effort coming from the bench. Is it time to shift things up and let the starters finish it off?
I think you go with what works, and I think the uniqueness of this London Lightning team is that you've got so many options, you've got so many weapons, and quite frankly, what you need, you take in what you got, what they can give you.
One more note. How is Garrett Williamson becoming a big factor for the London Lightning? Because it's not only Doug Herring that's been supplying the damage, but it's been Garrett Williamson putting up those very, very tough shots.
Garrett, he's the kind of guy, a vet player in this league. He's been around this league for a while. He's familiar with it, and he's one of these guys that kind of picks their spots, and he recognizes where I need to step in and whether take that shot or maybe I can fall back and let someone else do that. Tonight, he's decided to force the issue and take on the offensive end.
Always appreciating your time to do this halftime show with us, Audley.
I'm glad to let me hang out with you, man. This is awesome, man.
I'm honored to be joined by Audley Stevenson, but you folks are being honored with a close game right here, and that's what you got to expect.
Yeah.
Home court advantage is at stake here. A season could be at stake here. It just decides on what goes down here. 5-point edge for the London Lightning. We'll return. Well, we might as well keep on going, but as I have on my mind,
Yeah.
we got to look at these other series, too.
Yeah, sure.
Windsor and KW yesterday, it was a close game after the Windsor Express had a slow start. They were down 10-0, but it all relied on a couple of players yesterday. Logan
Right.
Stutz put on a good double-double game
Absolutely.
along with Juan Patillo.
Well, this is going to be a great series, and it is a great series thus far because these teams are so evenly matched. There's so many similarities, and I think that, I was talking to Serge Landis, and Coach Landis talked about the fact that, when these two teams are playing together, it's ugly basketball because they're just smash mouth, and it comes down to a possession or two, and, that's what the game is. So this will be a lot of fun.
And finally,
speaking of fun, you got beach balls floating in the air,
fun
man.
in the sun, I'll tell you this. And finally, as we wrap it up, Halifax and Moncton, how you see that series going?
Yeah, you know what? Moncton has a huge challenge on their shoulders. I know we talk about the regular season not meaning much, but listen, they haven't had a lot of success against Halifax in the regular season. Halifax has so many weapons, so many different players that they throw at them, but I still like their compete level. I think they can give a challenge.
And there it is. Always a pleasure, Audley.
Hey, man, thanks for having me, man.
No problem. 5-point edge for the London Lightning. We'll step aside and we'll get ready for the second half. But for now, we step aside for this commercial timeout. You're watching the London Lightning on Knockstrom.tv.
Let's get these beach balls, man.
Once again, a big thanks to Audley for helping out during the Nottingham halftime. But now we get back to the nitty-grittiness here in the NBLC playoffs. Game 2 between the A's and Lightning. After a slow first quarter from the London Lightning, Chris Croucher, it seems like the intensity has picked up, and Doug Herring and Garrett Williamson being one of those prime examples of why they have the lead.
Yeah, those two came up big, especially in that second quarter. Garrett was really one of the few guys who's getting anything done in the first quarter. He put up a lot of his points there at a time where London really could have been blown out had they not had that kind of a performance from him. And then Doug Herring, I thought, did an excellent job in the second quarter of just sort of getting that offense going. He made a couple of really nice heads-up plays. And I think coming into this quarter, it should be interesting to see if Orangeville has done anything to sort of game plan around that.
And away we go with the third quarter. 57-52 if you're just joining us. Very close game. Right down, arm to the teeth. As Superman Johnson runs the ball up to the court. And a good feed inside. But Junior Cadogan was a little bit overzealous inside. He'll pick up a foul.
Tough shot there by Daquan Cook. Excellent drain.
Daquan Cook on the pull-up to kick things off here in the second half. Orangeville once again drawing first blood on respective halves. But something that the Lightning has to decrease as this game rolls on. Good fake out by Cadogan inside to Kyle Johnson.
Yeah, he had everyone thinking. He faked that pass to Garrett Williamson on the three-point line. Made everyone kind of jump forward a bit, and that gave the space to make that pass to Kyle Johnson. Excellent fake. Kyle
Johnson now has 8 points to his name in the evening. Just underway here in the second half. Aaron Sanders with Chris Croucher. Bodiford with an ice cream scoop, picks up his own rebound. Royce denies everything on that one.
Not sure what the call is on that one.
Might have to do with the clock, you never know. But once again, great execution by Royce White to pin down that shot from Bodiford. So 7 seconds on the shot clock. That's what the Orangeville A's got to work around with. Inbounds pass, far away for Cook. Gets it tipped away, but since the Lightning had it, they get the ball back. Shot clock expires. Anthony Harris with the three.
Oh my goodness, what a huge play there. Anthony Harris able to make that shot.
Clutch performance from Anthony Harris.
Well, he was shooting that pretty much from the B on Budweiser Gardens there. That was a heck of a shot.
Yeah, you seen Daquan Cook getting it from the backcourt.
Yeah, we're going to get another look here. Maybe not quite the B, but still a deep three.
At desperation time, it just brings out the best in everybody. Have mercy. So Royce White coming back into the line. And once again earlier, he had free throw woes. Now he's getting back to the tempo that he usually gets into. It's crunch time for him as he expands this Lightning lead to 4 with 10:30 to go. Bodiford on the drive again. Nothing to it. But he'll go to the line.
Tonight's game sponsor is Edward & Sons, who have a full carpentry division.
Well, rather Anthony Harris, but that's how important the guards are when it comes to pretty much any team, Chris. The ability to pick up the speed and have no fear of finishing it off and going right inside of the basket.
Well, you also tend to get better long-range shooting when you get those quicker guys, because a lot of them work from the outside, and that's where they know how to do their damage. So it's kind of an interesting thing with London, because they've been able to get that kind of shooting by having bigger guys out there. But Orangeville's done a good job with smaller, quicker guys getting their buckets tonight.
And with those free throws, Anthony Harris now has 12 points and 2 rebounds, along with an assist. Royce White working on the corner. Spins inside with the lefty. Once again, a 4-point game. Hollis Jefferson. Cross courts. Cook. White rebounds. White working on the crossover dribble. Catch and shoot. Ryan Anderson. That's his game. Put her there.
Huge. And now we're seeing London pull ahead just a little bit more than we've seen all game long, really. No team able to get any sort of a sustainable lead. London with the first real chance at it here.
And this is something that this London crowd is known for. It's known to see. And Cadogan swoops in, takes it in, and that was all thanks to a Ryan Anderson effort to steal the ball, and that prompts an Orangeville timeout.
Yeah, Orangeville just needs to kind of stop the bleeding here. London coming in with way too much momentum, and just some excellent plays here. We're going to see a replay. This one by Junior Cadogan here, just a beautiful layup, just to send this crowd into a bit of a frenzy. And of course, we got Royce White right here, making a nice feed to Ryan Anderson for the three.
Really astute observation from Royce White on one end, but he gets his rewards spinning right in, losing to Quan Cook on the step and on the spin, and gives it a soft touch with the left hand. And then once again, we go back to a miraculous three near the end of the shot clock buzzer, and that was Anthony Harris to finish it off. But now things are getting stretched out. As far as we know, 9-point game for the Lightning, who once again are picking up on the intensity and shooting real well too, almost 57% from the field.
A little bit of an extended timeout there. Orangeville taking their time coming back on the court.
And they pretty much need all that time they can, because they really have to find answers to limit Royce White's scoring and pretty much anybody's ability to drive inside. And I think it all starts on the transition game when you look at it.
You know, this is where for London, they were having success driving inside in game one. We didn't really see that here in game two. Orangeville done a good job locking it up. But now London, as they're going to apply some pressure here, able to get some looks.
Full court pressure broken. Hollis Jefferson inside. Foul on the play. Slim McGee once again doing work. Justin Moss, my mistake. The assist department has been working out for the London Lightning. 19-11, a +8 for them. But the turnovers once again getting really close between these two teams, and that's one thing they got to be careful with. So short passes could be the way here. Anderson. Johnson, now Royce White working with the ball fake. Two ball fakes rather. Falls away. He doesn't get the shot to go, but he's off to the line.
Yeah, Justin Moss not really happy with that call there. Royce White, really nice finesse. We don't usually see him with that fadeaway, but he does have that shot in his arsenal. He's made it when he's tried it.
It's just impressive that he has enough power to let that shot go and create space for himself as he knocks down point number 12 in his name. Once again, he's flirting with the double-double, as if it's any surprise to pretty much anybody that knows a story about Royce White.
And, you know, there's enough time. You could probably be looking at that triple-double by the end of the game if you wanted to. He's at 5 right now.
5
assists, that is, pardon me.
2 straight triple-doubles will be pretty interesting, especially in the postseason. Johnson had no trouble swooping in, but he used all of his footwork to break through. Now he has his chance at the charity stripe.
Ooh, Alex Johnson starting something there.
And now, once again, tempers are flaring.
That was a little unnecessary there. London, it looked like, just had their huddle going. They were talking to each other, and Johnson just walked right through it.
And that's not Alex Superman Johnson's character to do that. once again, this is an 8-point game. Superman Johnson at the line connects. 70-63 is the score here at Budweiser Gardens. Dubin working with Alex. Breaks through, goes behind the back, loses his dribble, loose ball on the floor. Alex Johnson swoops in and gets it. Finding Justin Moss.
Beautiful play by Relier Hollis Jefferson there to move the ball. This is a little bit frenetic here.
Now the gameplay is slowing down a little bit. Johnson on the pull-up. Whistle on the play. It'll be on Rick Boterford, who's still pleading his case.
There's been a lot of questions from Orangeville towards the refs. Again, the free throw disparity, 33 free throw attempts for London, 18 for Orangeville, and team fouls 25 for Orangeville, 15 for London. At the same time, a lot of Londons have been of more the game-swinging caliber, so, you know, I mean, the foul numbers obviously drastically different, but it doesn't feel like there's been a lot towards one team as opposed to the other, to be honest.
No, because it's a pretty close game as opposed to the first quarter, and once again, another whistle on the play.
And there's been so many fouls that are, you know, self-committed. You know, offensive fouls on either team, whether it's an unsporting foul or anything. It seems like a lot of these fouls aren't necessarily because of they aren't a lot of shooting fouls, although that free throw number for London would tell you it is. But a lot of the fouls feel like they're of the variety where, you know, a team kind of does it and the ref has no choice but to call it.
Can be 50-50. Obviously, it's tough to make a call like that, but when you look at it, you just got to play on until the whistle blows. A lot of people complaining about whether they did not get the call or not, but once again, until you hear the whistle, you got to let the play roll on, and you got to finish your job. As Anderson puts the ball in play, White at the top, now lets Dougie go to work. Gets double teamed. Johnson doing a really good job on the baseline, pressuring. And it was that Johnson Hollis Jefferson trap.
Looks like they found a wet spot on the floor here. You know, London's such a fast-paced team, but I think things have been better for them when it's slow, so this might be a nice little break for them. They've had a couple of big plays in transition, but for the most part, when they've been pulling ahead, it hasn't been transition. It's been a slower, steadier play that's really carried the day for them. So, I mean, they certainly can play transition, but I think a nice slower pace like this might work out better.
And it just basically describes why they're shooting plus 50 from the field. Roy,
it's going to be over and back.
He loses the ball. And ill-advised pass, even though Royce White was at the right spot, but unfortunately for them.
Should add we've got a final score from that OT thriller between the Island Storm and St. John Riptide. Island Storm winning that one 130 to 123. That gives them a 2-1 series lead.
And another over-the-back call, but wow, going back, interesting. Going back to the Island Storm game, once again, these guys are underlooked, you ask me. One of the smartest teams out there, and now they have home court advantage and they have the ability to wrap it all up possibly tomorrow afternoon.
You know, I think that would be a shock. There's a lot of people who maybe had St. John coming out of the East, as Royce White's going to make a nice play there. I think a lot of people might have had St. John coming out of the East, so if the Island Storm can knock them out in round one, that kind of throws the whole playoff bracket in flux.
And just changes pretty much everything and could be a bracket buster to those watching.
And I'm sorry, they had to get the ball to Justin Moss there. They missed a prime mismatch between Moss and Williamson.
But once again, Garrett Williamson on the assist to Royce White, so the assists are piling up for the London Lightning, which is helping them out get this game to their favor. Hollis Jefferson on the drive over Williamson, scoops it up, and another foul on Williamson.
I thought that was just good defense there. I thought Garrett really did a great job on that one. Fans are really giving it to the ref.
Showing their disapproval. As we get another look at it, Williamson had his hands up as we've seen it on the replay.
I thought they were straight up and down, but again, I kind of I don't know. But again, with basketball, it's the hardest sport in all of sports really to call and to referee, because there's so many split-second decisions, and you have so many bodies in a tight space when you get them all just onto one offensive end. It really is a difficult game to call.
And the A's make a pair of substitutions. Enrico Di Loretto comes back into the game, so does Corbin Thomas. So once again, it's a matter of sizing up for the A's. Anderson on the drive and the finish.
Great job by Ryan Anderson there. And then it gets a little bit more mojo going for the London Lightning. They get to maintain the lead that they've had.
Di Loretto on the pull-up. Goes off. Royce with the rebound. Leaves Justin Moss in his dust. Can't get the lefty to fall. Di Loretto. And it's showtime for Corbin Thomas again. Tipping, once again, having a very consistent game so far. Falls away, doesn't get the shot. Anderson with the rebound. Gets chest bumped by Tipping.
You know, this might get to be a heated series when all is said and done. These two teams are a little aggravated with everyone right now.
Quite remarkable. Anderson, once again, with the easy access to the basket.
Yeah, that was a great cut there. I believe that was Garrett on that one who made that beautiful cut to the rim. Great finesse with the layup.
And expands his lead to 9 with 5:46 to go in the third. Whistle on the play. Royce White picking up his third foul. Marvin Phillips and Joel Friesen going to come back in. And it might be a good choice to take Royce White out of the game, considering those 3 fouls. But once again, flirting with the triple-double, like you said.
Yeah, he's got the double now. 15 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists in the game. And that's a bad miss there.
Tipping picks it up inside. Justin Moss once again with the little ice cream scoop inside to the basket.
And we haven't really seen a lot called for Justin Moss. He's got 12 points in the game, 4 or 5 shooting. I think this is a guy you got to get going as this game starts to wind down.
Herring, that ball goes off Justin Moss's foot. Superman Johnson, after a quick rest, returns to the game and cooled down probably a little bit after what happened last time when he was on the court. So inbound pass to Garrett. Inside, swooping in, goes in and out, but he'll go back to the line.
And again, this slows down the game, and I think this actually, you know, against everything we've been talking about pretty much the whole season with London, I think this slower pace right now in today's game is actually helping them right now.
And it could reduce the hostility, too, considering what we've seen in the last number of plays, too, so...
Oh, for sure, and I think for Orangeville, this kind of, you know, gives you a little bit of a breather. They've kind of run the same 8 guys for most of the game. They've got a lot of depth, but they haven't really been able to use a ton because of their foul situation. I mean, you got Harris and Slim McGee both sitting at 4 fouls, and McGee didn't really get to play a lot of minutes before hitting that mark.
Quick substitution for the Orangeville A's. Di Loretto's back on the court. 5 minutes to go. Justin Moss handling the ball, going up against one-on-one against Phillips. Pump fakes, fires it out with a right hand.
I'd just be feeding him right now. Guy's a beast. You just got to feed the beast right now. He's having a great game so far.
He's warming up. Herring. Over he goes to Johnson for 3. Oh, what a banker.
Big three-pointer there from Kyle Johnson. Gets his crowd a little bit more energized and into the game. Just like that, London's got a 9-point lead.
And it's impressive, considering what Johnson's been doing lately. 11 points to his name. Shot's no good. Here comes Herring in the Lightning. He slows things down, brings it up to the wing. Phillips drives, and an offensive foul on him. The A's are in the bonus, but since it's an offensive foul, they will not go to the line. Leading scoring so far, Garrett Williamson with 20 points.
Yeah, and he had 17 of those in the first half. They haven't really needed him a ton in this quarter. Some of the other guys are starting to step up, but Williamson absolutely all over the place in the first half.
Hollis Jefferson is running the boards on scoring, rebounding, and assists. He's 2 rebounds shy of a double-double.
Yeah, he's leading every single major category for the Orangeville A's, but I think right now is the time where you look to Justin Moss. I know they got to be careful with him. He's sitting at 4 fouls, but I'd just be feeding Moss right now.
And it's pretty interesting if you do put him into the mix because they really need those points in the paint. They're being outscored inside 38-28 as this game stands. Friesen, ill-advised pass that was intended for Phillips.
I think Hollis Jefferson got a hand on that.
Johnson crosses over on the step back. What a scoop shot, but that would not go. Friesen on the drive, gets the contact, misses the shot. Ball will go back to London.
Yeah, I think Friesen started losing the ball on the way up there. That was unfortunate, but otherwise he made a lot of nice moves there. And he got the player to, I'm not sure who it was, he got, I believe, Corbin Thomas to bite on the pump fake. Really nice, just couldn't finish.
Now the Lightning will have a second chance to reset. Friesen gets the ball once again, falls away. That was a tough shot. Here comes Justin Moss with the rebound. Good give and go. Phillips taps it out. Herring gets it. Friesen right at the corner. Phillips. Can you say unbelievable?
Huge shot there from Marvin Phillips, and he's a guy, they didn't really need him too much in the early goings of this quarter, but he's able to step in there and drain that big three-point shot.
He was wide open too, so that really boosted up his confidence.
This is the biggest lead London's had all game, and this has to be motivating.
And now everything's all working like clockwork for them. 9 on the shot clock. Moss on the banker, got it.
Again, guys feasting right now, just keep feeding them. He's their best bet at trying to get back in this game.
And that adds 16 points to his resume this evening. Quite impressive from the front court. Williamson inside. He split through those doors and was able to get the shot to go. Johnson looking for a screen, instead gets it to Moss. It's showtime. Corbin Thomas on the fall away. Got it. So now this is looking to be like a shootout as we reach 2 minutes in the third. Johnson one-on-one against Johnson. Figure that. Williamson looking on the drive. Got 2 A's on them. Herring Jr. over to Phillips. Phillips trying to work the ball around. They do. Give it to Johnson. Oh, Heartbreak City. Picking it up is Phillips.
Phillips providing a lot of the energy that they needed here in this third quarter. Huge boost to the Lightning players.
And it helped him out that he was wide open since the beginning. Hollis Jefferson fires a 3. He's got it.
Big shot there from Hollis Jefferson, who's having another great quarter here. That's going to give him 21 points in the game.
Single digits right now. That's the lead. Herring Williamson goes around to the left side, picks up the foul. So yeah, once again, Hollis Jefferson, 21 points, going on with 8 rebounds and 5 assists. Him and Justin Moss, of course, being the leaders for the Orangeville A's, who really need a major presence when it comes to penetrating the post.
And they've gotten good performances out of guys at times like Hollis Jefferson and Moss, but they just haven't been able to string them together here. And London's started clicking now, and it's going to be harder for them to bring themselves back in the game when London's got this kind of momentum going.
It's been all of them since the start of the second quarter. We've seen Doug Herring Jr. take the reins for a little bit, but it's been the Garrett Williams show so far with 24 points. So now he gets a rest. Thomas over, he goes to Cook. Good inside look, but that shot wouldn't fall.
Hollis Jefferson frustrated. He knew he had 2 points just sitting there for him, unable to finish.
Herring on the inbound. .45 seconds, 89 to 78. And that just caps it off, does it?
Oh man, we're gonna need to see that again because I think Doug Herring broke some ankles there. He ditched Enrico Di Loretto like a bad habit and then finished at the rim.
Boy,
Great
that's
play.
gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt. Just went right by him. That's quite impressive. Herring Jr.
Yeah, there was the screen there, and I think Di Loretto was preparing to go over the screen, and he just overcommitted, so Herring Jr. went the other way.
12 points for him right now, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. I mean, this network for the Lightning has been working so far. I mean, they're networking together. They're having good looks for the basket. Orangeville can't capitalize on that yet. Johnson for 3. He's got it.
Big answer there for the Orangeville A's, and that brings them even a little bit more closer. They're going to need more shots like that.
And they needed that.
Again, London 35 points in this quarter already.
About 5 seconds difference between the shot and game clock. Kyle Johnson for 3, and no, but he's off to the line.
That might be one of my more entertaining interactions because Jamison Tipping ended up on top of Kyle Johnson, then immediately got up and argued the call. I mean, I think the ref's probably going to call it on you when you land on top of the guy.
Either way, either way. Johnson took advantage of Jameson's height, being able to square up for the shot. He knew he was going to get tagged one way or another, so he's off to the line to shoot 3 with 15 and 9/10 to go.
Gonna have a little extended break to make sure the floor is all clean.
And once again, the Orangeville A's need something to work. Most importantly, inside the post, but the only things one thing that's working for them is scoring off the bench. 30 to 26 for them. So no problem from that. But they have tied when it comes to getting points off the turnover, so that's something to consider once again, as we mentioned over and over again on this telecast. But they really have to take advantage of the points of the paint because that's hurting them right now. Shot miss, Hollis Jefferson with the rebound. Orangeville could look for a final shot. Something with a good look. Fall away by Slim McGee. It is no good. Tapped around. And a rejection by Doug Herring Jr. at the buzzer to prevent a shot from Alex Johnson. And that caps off the third quarter. 13-point game for the London Lightning. Things are closing out, but is it too early to call it over?
I don't think it's quite over, but definitely some bad omens there for Orangeville. Looked like they were starting to run just a little bit out of gas in that quarter, and London more than willing to take advantage. Shooting numbers for Orangeville have dropped considerably. They're down to 42% shooting on the game. So even if you get all those extra chances, if you're not able to convert the way Orangeville's had troubles converting in this third quarter, that's how you're going to end up in the situation that they're in right now, down 94-81. Leading scorers for the London Lightning, you got Garrett Williamson, 24 points. After him, you got 15 points from Royce White, who's also got 10 rebounds for the double-double. Looking at Orangeville, it's Hollis Jefferson, as he leads the team in points, rebounds, and assists right now. Just a great all-around game from him. After that, You got 16 points from Justin Moss on 6 of 8 shooting. Those two really crucial parts of this Orangeville A's team. And I'd like to see them play a little bit more together, because right now, whenever either one's been on the floor, they haven't really been on together. So when you're London and you see Hollis Jefferson on the floor, you get to defend Hollis Jefferson. Then you see Moss on the floor, you defend Moss. If you put him out there, makes it a little harder for London to decide which one they got to really key in on. So in the fourth quarter, they should probably be looking that way for ways they can maybe make up some of this lead.
Especially with their backs on the wall. A lot riding on this. They can take home court advantage from the London Lightning if they overcome this 13-point lead, but they're keeping it real close despite what the scoreboard says.
And London's assist number went through the roof during that third quarter. They're up to 24 assists in the game. Anyone who's watched these two teams play knows that London's been putting up huge assist numbers when they're playing the A's, and that has continued here tonight, especially in that third quarter.
So 12 more minutes will tell the story to see whether this series will be tied at 1 game apiece or the Lightning will go into the Institute with a 2-0 lead.
Okay, take a look at this 3 here from Alex Johnson. Beautiful shooting stroke. Again, Alex Johnson, a guy who really found a place here in Orangeville. He was always a solid guy off the bench, but he's really emerged as one of the better point guards during his time with the A's.
And that's the type of attitude we've seen when he played for the Express last season, and especially in his days in Mississauga. So no talent being wasted, as he is a very superb athlete. Slim McGee picks up the rebound, tipping for 3.
And he's a guy who was absolutely scorching hot in the first half. Didn't see much scoring from him in the third quarter there. If he can get going, that might be just the momentum swing Orangeville needs.
They're still riding on the tails of the London Lightning, down 10. Herring off the Phillips pick, finds the pull-up, and Marvin Phillips once again showing his ability to follow the shot and gets it to go. Little whistle off the ball.
You know, Marvin Phillips had those 2 points on the other end there. He's got 10 in the game, and almost all of them have just been hustle points. Great effort from him, especially in that third quarter. I thought it's where he did some of his best work. Really provided a spark, and it was after that spark that he had a shot he made. He had a dunk. He had made a couple big defensive plays. He got that spark going, and after that, this is what London's been doing since. They've had this 12-point lead, and they've kind of kept pulling on that rubber band. I know when John's calling the games, he likes to talk about that rubber band that you want to stretch it as far as you can until it snaps. And Marvin Phillips really led to London putting the most stress on that rubber band that they could.
He made another defensive play, stripping the ball on the other end. That's why London has the ball. Anderson guarded by Tipping, goes on the left side.
Ooh, watch out,
Johnson
on the ball.
There it is.
Great shot there from Kyle Johnson, able to drain that, and Orangeville's going to have difficulties. One of the things that they did well in the first half was they stopped those perimeter shots, and London's just been had bombs away, green light ever since then.
It's the confident ball rotation. James and Tipping fall away 3, doesn't go, but they get the ball back. And it's traveling
travel.
ball. So now things are opening up for the London Lightning once again. They're trying to make the wound bigger as they lead by 15. 90 seconds into the fourth quarter. You see Garrett Williamson break away for the pick. Anderson fires again. Oh. And Heartbreak City again for Ryan Anderson. That was his shot too, but the ball had other ideas.
Enjoy all you can eat wings every Tuesday from 4 to 9 at the Bull and Barrel, located at 359 Thomas Street, next door to Budweiser Gardens.
And Marvin Phillips, another crucial aspect when it comes to second chance points for the London Lightning. 10-17 right now, -7 for them, but if he keeps up falling through with those shots, this game could go into his favor as well. Tipping off the McGee pick. McGee gets his just due. Justin Moss drives inside, picks up the contact, draws a foul.
Justin Moss, man, even when he doesn't get the bucket, he just causes so much mayhem on the inside. One of the ways he was most effective was actually against Royce White in that season-ending game, not game one, when he was able to get White in foul trouble early just by creating that contact and getting himself to the line. We're going to see him shoot 2 free throws here, see if he can keep this up.
And Justin Moss keeps on piling up his stat sheet with 16 points and 2 rebounds. 6 of 8 from the field, 4 of 6 now. Or rather, 5 of 6. Misses the second free throw. But once again, it's all based on what they do. Williamson falls away and gets tagged.
Again, Garrett Williamson all over the court tonight, and 8 of 9 shooting. Perfect from the three-point line. He only took 1, but still made it. So it's been a really effective night for Garrett Williamson.
He's one of 5 players for the Lightning in double digits right now. Well, better still, 6.
Yeah, those players are 24 from Garrett Williamson, 16 Kyle Johnson, 15 Royce White, and then Doug Herring Jr., Ryan Anderson, and Marvin Phillips all at 10.
Once again, with that 17 points in the first half, he's picking up where he left off right from that. And
pretty much right from tip-off, he's just been going 100%. And, I mean, he's a veteran. He's been with this team this is his 3rd season as a member of the Lightning. And, I mean, this is a guy who just knows how to get it done. And tonight he's showing exactly that.
And he's taking risky baskets, but the good thing about it is he's just finishing off with great power. Johnson. Over he goes to Corbin Thomas, who misses the shot. Herring wants to switch things up. Goes off Williamson. Johnson steps back. Moss picks up the rebound, and it's Alex Johnson once again on the right side. Drives, spins, fires, gets fouled.
Don't forget, fans, because your London Lightning scored over 100 points, you can bring in your game ticket with a free order of Bandera pizza bread or
So now Alex Johnson is complimenting Justin Moss real well too, enabling to open up any gaps on the defense and making sure those two take charge.
Well, it gives you that inside-outside presence. You got Moss, crashing and banging down on the inside, and he's a guy who, with Alex Johnson's speed, those two can provide a great combination on the pick and roll. But he's going to miss his free throw.
Justin Moss on the follow.
Great job by Moss following that up. That gives him 19 points in the game, almost entirely built up in the second half here.
Now things are heating up. Royce White on the clear drive. Misses the shot as he was under the rim. Here's Johnson again. Outlet pass to Moss. Outside. Gets the ball back. Goes one-on-one against Royce. It's a foot race. Drives inside. Gets that tough shot to go.
Very tough shot there. Justin Moss able to finish. He's feeling it right now. 21 points.
Herring gets triple teamed. Outside. Friesen for 3. And once again, Justin Moss displaying his presence in the post. Bodiford, is it his time? Goes off right.
Last thing with Moss, he's doing all this while playing with 4 fouls. He's doing a great job staying disciplined out there, too.
11-point game. Friesen. Back again to Kyle. Johnson. Royce. Off he goes, left hand and all.
You know, it seemed to be just a little bit of a lull, nothing too crazy, so that's a nice shot there for Royce White to make.
Johnson through everybody.
Oh.
Offensive foul. Too much firepower in that one.
And again, we gotta. I don't think there's a stat kept track of for this, but I feel like the London Lightning have to draw more charges than any other team in the league, whether it's Joel Friesen or Garrett Williamson or Ryan Anderson. Those three have been just absolutely great at getting in front of an opposing player, and just taking that contact, making the tough play to help their team have a better game. And we see another one there.
Once again, everybody's putting all their bodies on the line, and that's been the London Lightning story this whole year. (103-90). Royce White has it up top and throws it away. He thought Johnson was ready for the pass, but he went right on his merry old way. Justin Moss gets a short time on the bench before he comes back in, so it shows how important conditioning is for these two teams.
Well, especially with Orangeville, they've had a lot of guys play a lot of minutes here tonight.
Harris on the drive and on the tip, and what in the world? Hollis Jefferson just keeps on adding damage. Johnson fires a three, goes off. Friesen on the follow.
Great play by Joel Friesen there. He's made a lot of just real heads-up plays in this game, and that's another one right there from the University of Alberta grad.
London has been following their shots lately. Every chance they get. Now Orangeville looks to retaliate. Inside is Rick Bodiford. He'll go to the line as well. So Bodiford, in some ways, has been quiet for game 2, but you look at it, 7 points and 6 rebounds.
He hasn't been a guy that they've necessarily looked to really fill the bucket, but he's done a really nice job defending, I've found, on the wings. A guy like Ryan Anderson, that's who Bodiford's main assignment has been most of this game. And Ryan Anderson, he's made a couple of shots, but for the most part, we haven't seen him go off like we know he can. And I think Bodiford's done a great job of limiting the damage that Anderson can do, but unfortunately they haven't gotten that kind of an effort at the other the other 4 positions on the floor.
And in his place, Anthony Harris has been picking up the work. I mean, he has 12 points and 2 rebounds on top of that, so you gotta be impressed at that switch, that if Bodiford is quiet, then Harris is gonna pick up and get loud himself. Another turnover for the London Lightning. It's becoming to be one of the vices for them this evening, 17-13.
Don't look now, they're letting Orangeville slowly crawl back into this.
And you mentioned earlier how slow the tempo of this game has been because everybody's taking their time to make sure they get those high-quality shots. And that's what Orangeville's been working on so far. Moss fires away on the right side and it's no good. Friesen falls to the ground.
I would think that's a foul on Rick Bodiford there. I'm not sure what the call was.
With over 25 years experience, Enterprise provides complete landscape design, construction, and year-round maintenance. Call today for your free.
If that is, it will be his third as we head into a media timeout. So the Orangeville A's slowly but surely finding ways to maintain the tempo for them. It's an 11-point game, 105-94. We click through some more highlights. Joel Friesen on the follow once again. Very wise move considering there were 2 Orangeville defenders that were standing there static.
Yeah, there's just a nice battle there. Relier Hollis Jefferson able to get that finish there.
Hollis Jefferson riding on a double-double, 23 and 11. 5 assists with him as well. But it's mostly the front court of the Orangeville A's that's been keeping this game close.
Yeah, that combination of Hollis Jefferson and Justin Moss combining for 44 points in this game. They've been really doing a lot of the heavy lifting for Orangeville on offense. They've actually gotten a pretty balanced effort, though. You've got Jameson Tipping with 14. He had that early hot shooting. And Anthony Harris with 12, Alex Johnson with 10. Harris, the efficient 4 of 8 for his shots, too. So there's actually quite a few things working in Orangeville's favor. They got some guys making their shots. Just a matter of continuing that heading into the 4th quarter here. Or pardon me, we're in the 4th quarter. I'm going crazy. But after this media timeout here, So for Orangeville, I think they've got some. They know what works by now, and so it's about focusing on those things and basically throwing everything you have. Because I don't think you want to be. I don't know if the lead gets out of hand, if they start thinking the next game. I think you need this game, and I think they really are going to give it everything they have to try and close this gap. And they got 5 minutes to do it. I think they're going to give it their all here because, quite frankly, it doesn't look very great to have to go home down 2-0.
And they got to buckle down and tighten up right there, especially inside, because Royce White got another double-double. Outside of Garrett Williamson's great shooting performance with 26 points.
8 of 9 shooting.
Man. So if you have that pesky assignment to shut down Royce White, you're going to have to put in a lot of work to make sure you limit him from going into the basket. Williamson, the leading scorer. Cadogan inside to White. One-on-one against Moss. Cadogan follows up, misses it. Johnson rebounds. Harris inside to Justin Moss. He gets picked a little bit. Could be another foul on Royce White. If that's the case, that's going to be his 4th.
That is the case. Justin Moss again forcing a foul on the inside.
Orangeville's attracting attention, piling up the Lightning's team fouls. They only have a foul to give compared to Orangeville's 2 that they could give right now. Jameson Tipping. Here we go again with this fella. 15 points, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc.
Yeah, he's pretty much been lights out behind that arc there.
Royce on the slam. And you know what? If your defense opens up a space for Royce White, you're going to be in trouble. Anthony Harris himself has found an opening in the London Lightning's defense. So now, if it's happening on one end, it's happening on another.
Slowly but surely. Orangeville slowly working their way back in here. But yeah, Jameson Tipping, 17 points. He's sitting at 5 fouls, but he's been doing a good job staying disciplined. 6 of 10 shooting in the game, 4 of 6 beyond the arc. He's had a fantastic game here. One of the best I've seen him play. I've watched him a couple of years now as a member of the A's, and this is one of the better games I've seen from him.
This is a fantastic shooting display for Jameson Tipping. Foul trouble is the big situation for the Orangeville A's. With 5 fouls, they have Jameson Tipping, Alex Johnson, and Corbin Thomas.
Even at 4 fouls, Anthony Harris, Justin Moss, Daquan Cook, and Slim McGee all sitting at 4. So, lots of fouls on the Orangeville side there.
They're shooting on they're aiming on a very thin cushion when it comes to fouling situations, and they have to be sure they are that disciplined enough to make sure that they could still play inside, but you got to spread the floor out more. And with that, Jameson Tipping's fouls, and that will end his game.
Apparently, he had some words for the ref, maybe? I'm not sure why he's getting the full-on boo treatment here.
Well, he'll get an explanation, I'm sure.
Sounds like him and Moss aren't sure who got the foul.
Well, they did say Tipping, as he's done for the night. So the Lightning will be in bonus territory from here on out. And this is a close one as Orangeville looks for options to replace Jameson Tipping, who had a hot hand for pretty much the whole night. It's going to be difficult to replace him, but it's the next man up, as they say in the world of sports. But with an 8-point lead, there's no need to panic if you're Orangeville.
It's going to be Daquan Cook coming onto the floor in place of Jameson Tipping here. And I thought Cook's done a really good job in this game defending. Obviously the fouls are a problem, but I thought he actually did a pretty good job against Royce White in this game.
He was able to shut him down in most possessions, but now
I don't know about shut him down, but I think he did the I think he did the best he could, or as good as you could expect someone to.
Once again, do your best. But he could be an incredible asset off the ball and be able to spread out the floor for the Orangeville A's when it comes to that department. Bodiford on the drive, gets the step and gets it to go over Ryan Anderson. We're at the corner. Now Royce White has it at the center. Anderson over to Royce White, finds an opening, gets double teamed, and he picks up his travel. It all. Oh, Royce. Oh, Royce.
Didn't see what happened there.
Tried to throw the ball to the ref, but Junior Cadogan was in the way.
Oof. You don't need to be taking out your teammates in playoffs.
But they're still friends, I'm sure. 8-point game. 3:33. Cook at the top. Bodiford drives inside, and he picks up the foul over Ryan Anderson, and this is a good opportunity for him.
Yeah, it looked like he took just a little bit of an elbow in the side there. I don't think anything intentional, but it looks like he's wincing just a little bit there. He'll be okay.
Ryan Anderson, he picks up 5 fouls. Joel Friesen comes in his place.
Yeah, London pretty good for fouls. Anderson with 5, Royce White and Kyle Johnson with 4.
And once again, you got to be very impressed at how Orangeville's been playing. This is the type of game we are accustomed to seeing when it comes to the Orangeville A's, keeping it real close. They have a really short memory when it comes to losses, and that's why they came back with a vengeance, and they are keeping this game close. They are within 8. Dougie gets trapped over to Williamson, drives, kicks it out, Friesen for 3, goes off, and a foul right down there.
That one's going to be on Doug Herring Jr. there, so it's going to be Orangeville ball. Over the limit, that's going to send London over the limit, pardon me, so that's going to be foul shots for Rick Bodiford there.
Both clubs are in the bonus for the remainder of this game.
By the way, Aaron, I see it in the group chat. Are you going to be in Windsor tomorrow?
I will be in Windsor tomorrow. This will be my 4th game in 4 games doing, but it's been a thrill doing it, flip-flopping from London to Windsor. Of course, Knockstrom.tv got you covered for all London Lightning and Windsor Express home games, so be sure to tune in at the Atlas Tube Center tomorrow at 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Atlantic Daylight Time as the KW Titans play against the Windsor Express. Friesen driving over to Cadogan. Now Royce White. He gets double teamed. Good spin move. Puts it in. Oh, baby.
Oh, my goodness. Did he ever ditch take one Cook there? Maybe so much about that defending him well. That was just a vicious spin move from Royce White.
We got to run that tape back. Man, that's been his show all evening. Spinning inside, breaking through the double team, and using that extra hand to follow through the shot, as he couldn't follow through on the end one. But now it's a 9-point game. Harris over to Johnson. Johnson guarded by Herring. 2 passes later, over it goes. 3-point attempt. Hollis Jefferson, he's having a day.
That's going to give him 26 points in this game. And again, they're going to have to rely on these big-time players for them if they want to bring this lead back. Again, only 6 points now.
2-possession game. Williamson on Bodiford, 1-on-1, 8 on the shot clock, falls away, and nothing to it, and he goes back to the string of things by going to the line.
That's going to be the 4th foul there on Bodiford, who, again, did all he could. Garrett Williamson, yet again, getting to the line. These are going to be his 12th and 13th free throws in this game. He's been pretty effective from the line, 9 of 11 so far.
And now everything slows down as Garrett Williamson sizes up at the free throw line. Can make this a 3-possession game. Folks, stay tuned for the Knockstrom post game. Following the conclusion of this one, we'll break down the final stat lines for you, and we'll look forward to games 3 and 4 at the Institute, and look forward to the KW Windsor series, which has their game 2 tomorrow afternoon. So now Orangeville's got to fire up some good shots, and the time has to be now, and that's one way to do it.
Nice play. Beautiful pass there from Hollis Jefferson, finding a cutting Bodiford.
Hollis Jefferson knew he was going to have all the attention on him, so he brought all the defense up top, allowing Harris to cut right in. Cadogan finds himself an opening, tipped in, nothing to it. Orangeville try to capitalize. Hollis Jefferson retreats the ball. Harris, good defense by Doug Herring Jr.
And that was actually a pretty big play, because as opposed to having the 2-on-1 situation they were facing, now you get to set up your defense.
18 seconds on the shot clock. Plenty of time for the A's. And a good foul. Anthony Harris finding his way to the basket, contesting against Doug Herring, but Joel Friesen will get the foul. So once again, both of these clubs are in the bonus for the rest of this game. Anthony Harris could cut the lead to at least 4. So now if you're Orangeville, what do you have to do with this, with the final 101 seconds to go in this fourth quarter?
Well, I think at this point it's keep doing what you're doing. You've been slowly getting back. Running out of time, though, you might want to start looking for some bigger plays.
Here's Herring. Herring sidesteps, picks up the foul. Doesn't get the banker to go, but he returns to the line. So Doug Herring and company making sure this game does not slip away, because Orangeville has been very effective by getting those close shots. And it's been all been riding on Relier Hollis Jefferson and, of course, Justin Moss in the front court. So now it's a 6-point game with 1:21 to go. Here's Johnson. Johnson probably looking for an isolation. He does, gets double teamed, gets fouled. And now this is where the chippiness comes in at the end of the game, Chris, and both clubs better be careful, because that could equal trips to the lines that would be unnecessary.
Well, not just that, but each foul stops the clock. And if you're Orangeville and London's going to foul you, that's just gravy right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we mentioned when London had 6 players in double figures, Orangeville's got 6 of their own now.
Alex Johnson among one of them with 11. 1 minute to go in this one. Game 2. Royce with the ball fake, going 1-on-1 against Moss. Fights his way to the basket.
Tough basket right there. Great job by Royce White.
And Brandon Lavoski wants to talk things over. 7-point game, 116 to 109. London Lightning smelling a 2-0 lead in this best-of-5 series.
We're going to look at some replays here. Royce White just with the power and the footwork, able to get to the rim there. Justin Moss, again, did everything he could, but Royce White's just one of these guys who can't really be stopped. We're going to see that beautiful pass from Relier Hollis Jefferson into Anthony Harris there as well.
And all that, the underdog tonight has been Jameson Tipping, despite him fouling out. 17 points to his name.
And they were of the impact variety, too. A lot of those threes were at times where maybe things weren't working right for the Orangeville A's. He came in there, heat up real quick, and get the Orangeville A's back in the game. There's at times where their scoring kind of seemed to simmer down just a bit, and Jameson Tipping was able to heat it right back up. And I think we got to give special props to Relier Hollis Jefferson. Win or lose, this has been a magnificent performance. 26 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, leading the A's in all 3 major categories. Leading the London Lightning, Garrett Williamson at 28, Royce White 23 points, 13 rebounds, and Kyle Johnson at 16 points.
The Orangeville A's better think of something quick. They're doing really good on the ball when they're on the offense, but defensively they got to find some way to shut every choice down and make sure those passes are deflected. 55.8 to go in this one. Both clubs in the bonus. Once again, we'll be back with you for the Knoxville post game after this game, and we'll break down the final stats for you. But this one has been a close one as opposed to what happened on Thursday.
Well, yeah, we haven't seen a 50-point cap yet.
Yeah, that's true. The crowd is chanting defense with under 50 seconds to go. Johnson, and a little tangle up between Moss and Anderson.
I think they're giving matching fouls to Moss and Anderson on that one. We'll see. Are they maybe just giving it to Anderson? They are just giving it to Ryan Anderson.
And that will end his game. Royce White comes back in. Gonna try to finish what Ryan Anderson started.
White sitting at 4 fouls himself. Now, I don't necessarily think it would work, but with Royce White in the game, this might be a time where teams have tried it and it didn't work, and I don't think it'll work. But if you wanted to, and if you think Royce White isn't as good a free throw shooter, this might be a time to go for Hacker Royce.
Well, remember, think of this too. At the line, he's 9 of 15 this evening. So it's a 50-50 shot considering how things have been going for him.
And again, I don't think it's a strategy that's worked, but if he gets the ball, I think you might want to think about fouling him.
Still a 2-possession game, 116 to 110.
Smartly burning a lot of clock here.
Royce White finishes off. Oh, he did not get it to go. Opportunity knocks for the Orangeville A's. Bodiford falling away, looking for options. Johnson for 3. Tap dancer goes.
Oh my goodness!
It goes. Unbelievable.
The suspense was killing everyone in the building. That's going to be a quick foul there. Good play by the Orangeville A's. And my goodness, we might be in for a tight finish. We'll see if Junior Cadogan can make these free throws.
I'm telling you, if that ball didn't hit the rim, I think we would be here till Sunday morning. That's how long it was, and that's how intense this game was. But Alex Superman Johnson, give him credit when it's due.
Well, big shot, but I mean, that ball hung on the rim. Probably killed about 5 seconds of clock just watching it bounce around there.
Crowd getting on its feet. Anthony Harris picks up his 5th foul. And now, it's only a matter of time to see if this game could be capped off on these free throws as Junior Cadogan knocks down one of them. And gets the second one to go.
That second one's the important one, too.
5-point game, 16.4 to go. And once again, this is where all the drama and the humility comes in for both of these clubs. Now, Orangeville, it would be obvious to find a quick shot and fire it, but there are plenty of more smart options along the way considering how the front court has been working out, but now the guards are stepping in and trying to cut this lead more.
I'm not going to lie, I think this would have been a time where you drop a play for Jamison Tipping, just purely based on how hot behind the three-point line he had been in this game. But of course, with him fouled out, I could see them drawing something up here for Anthony Harris, 2 of 5 on the game, or Relier Hollis Jefferson, but I think Harris might be the guy, because he's had a couple of open looks where he's just kind of gotten lost amidst the chaos and been able to pop out for a 3. So I'd be looking at a play drawn up where Harris can make that kind of 3-point shot.
And you know, we seen earlier that Anthony Harris could make a wish, and it comes true as the shot clock written down. So he knows what he's doing. He's there at the right time. But the question is, can he put off the right shot in order to get this Orangeville deficit down to at least 2?
I should add my second option, Rick Bodiford, if they do the inbound and then pass it right back to him here, because he's got the speed. He could blow by Royce White. This would be a or interesting time to try something like that.
And Rick Bodiford has the momentum too, scoring a few points in the last few minutes. So
if you can do an inbound and then right back to him, I don't think they're going to, but if they could.
Bodiford fakes the inbounds pass. Here comes Harris, like you said, over to Johnson. Johnson catches and shoots for three. Goes off the top, and a good rebound right there. And a foul, something the London Lightning should not do, but to Hollis Jefferson's happiness, he goes to the line probably.
And that's going to be a nice one for him because you get your shots the easy way. It stops the clock. However, I don't think that was the worst case scenario for London. The three would have been the worst. So fouling him and sending him to the line, not the worst result that could have happened. It just means that after you inbound it, they're probably going to foul London as quick as they can. And London's going to have to answer with free throws of their own, most likely.
Orangeville's filling their backcourt with nothing but confident shooters. Enrico DiLoretto comes into the game. Now Hollis Jefferson has a daunting task, and he makes the second free throw. So now it's a three-point game. Lightning will take a timeout of their own and talk things over.
All right, who wants a t-shirt? Stop making some noise and let's bring back your London dance.
So now for London, it would probably be just make sure you get the inbounds pass and not make a risky pass and just take the foul.
Yeah, exactly. London, there's two ways you can play. You can try and avoid the foul, or you can just take it. I think it all depends on whether or not they're able to inbound it to the guy they want to right away.
They would want to eat up the clock, that's the sure thing, but once again, turnovers has been advised for this London Lightning team this evening. 18 turnovers compared to Orangeville's 13. So now it's a matter of buckling down and make sure those passes goes to at least a yellow shirt.
Yeah, and if I'm London, unfortunately Ryan Anderson's out of the game. That's the guy you'd want taking your free throws. But Junior Cadogan, probably the guy they're going to want to get the ball to here. 81% free throw shooter. That would be the best mark of the guys on the floor right now.
And most likely London's lineup will consist of the next best free throw shooters. And of course a big dominant force inside.
Another option for London if Cadogan gets covered. Joel Friesen 80%.
So on the court for the Lightning, we see Garrett Williamson, Joel Friesen, Doug Herring Jr. Along with him, Junior Cadogan, and as well as Kyle Johnson. So you got good shooters for London's side. You just got to get an inbounds pass and make sure it's pretty accurate. Herring Jr. gets tagged. So now with 8 seconds exactly, they could rely.
Herring Jr. a 75% free throw shooter, and for London, with Royce White taken off, basically they just put their best free throw shooters in and wait for a foul.
And it's going to rely on Doug Herring's 2 free throws. In a way, any free throw shot could cap the game off, but then again, if Orangeville's quick on their feet, they could get a good shot and dart right back down after the second free throw. Herring knocks down the first one. It's a 4-point game. So Orangeville on this possession, they got to think and think fast because they have no timeouts. Second one goes, and now
that should do it.
And it's desperation time for the A's. Johnson fires a 3 and hits it. It's a 2-point game with 3.3 to go. Inbound pass goes to Doug Herring Jr., and here we go again.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Now this Budweiser Garden crowd is becoming a little timid and anxious because now another possession they have to wait on in order to celebrate a 2-0 lead, and it's Doug Herring off to the line again.
Who fouled there?
We're going to find out. It could pretty much be anybody. We might have to look at the replay again if we can.
I'm just thinking with their foul situation, that might be someone fouling out.
Right. Well, it looks like it because Orangeville took extra time on it. Yep. Doug Herring, once again, could cap it off. Take 2 for him. 3-point game for the Lightning. With 2.5 seconds to go. Crowd is in anticipation. Dougie misses it, and that's going to be pretty much the game, unless Hollis Jefferson makes a wish and it misses it. The game is over. It's all over. The Lightning take a 2-0 lead in dramatic fashion. Not in a similar fashion as we've seen on Thursday night, but it was a close one. A 3-point game, 121 to 118.
Just an absolutely exciting finish to that one, and we'll be downstairs giving you our post-game talk, telling you all about it, Aaron.
Man, oh man, it was a tough one, but give credit to Orangeville for playing their tails off. I mean, they came back with a vengeance, but they were one possession too short on that one. All right, off we go. We're taking a 10-meter dash downstairs, and we'll see you guys shortly. Okay, we're back down here at Budweiser Gardens. Final score 121-118. The London Lightning get it done in late game heroics, take a 2-0 lead. Chris Croucher, plenty of players they got to thank the London Lightning. Number one, Doug Herring Jr. capping off those free throws, but it's been the Garrett Williams show leading scoring.
Yeah, Garrett Williamson with 28 points. Most of those in the first half when London really struggled, and he was the guy who led the way. He was the guy that kept them in the game. And then come the second quarter when London started to get some stuff going together, and especially in the third when London really started to kind of put their own stamp on it. He was absolutely magnificent for the Lightning. We've seen him do everything all year long. In this game, he did it all at once.
How about Alex Superman Johnson keeping things close near the final minute?
Well, those threes were absolutely huge. This is a guy who's a former number one overall pick in the NBLC draft. You know he's going to come up clutch in a crunch time situation like that, and that's absolutely what he did. Just an amazing effort from a guy who's really emerged as one of the better point guards in the league.
Two players ended up with a double-double at least. Relier Hollis Jefferson, we'll talk to him about a minute. He's got one of them. And Royce White, another double-double game for him. I mean, just a few assists shy from a triple-double, but going back on Relier Hollis Jefferson, he was basically the glue that kept the A's together and cut this lead.
Yeah, he was probably the best player in an A's jersey tonight. He was absolutely fantastic. He led them in all three major categories in this game. So just an absolute effort from a guy who really none of us should be surprised. He was great all year long. And I think that little bit of extra time, of course, he just got over a concussion. And game one, they didn't really play him a ton because I think they wanted to give him extra rest. So he gets to come into this one, fresh legs. He's fresh, ready to go. And he came in here and put a great effort and did everything he could to help Orangeville win. Fortunately, it didn't work out.
And once again, honorable mention to James in tipping. He had the hot hand early on in the game, but with him fouling out, that could have been the major difference, considering that they needed his hot hand when it mattered the most.
Yeah, and I actually thought those last couple of plays would probably be drawn up for him based on how well he had been shooting in the game. Unfortunately, he got into those foul troubles, which, I think a lot of players on the A's were in foul trouble. There's not too much you can do there. The ref kind of decides that one, and then for him to go and make those shots, though, were absolutely crucial, and they were at times where Orangeville sort of slowed down, were letting London back early in the game, and Tipping made those shots and kept pulling them ahead. And his shots were almost like that carrot in front of the Orangeville A's, like, come and look, I'm continuously pushing us forward. So, for Jamison Tipping, it was an excellent job motivating his team with those shots.
As London takes a 2-0 lead, the Island Storm earlier capitalized in overtime, took a 2-1 lead, and now it's all or nothing for the Riptide tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, and I think that would kind of send shockwaves around the NBLC. A lot of people thinking the Riptide would be the team to come out of the East. If the Island Storm can pull that off, what a magnificent thing for them to have happen. And, this is a team that has kind of been underrated all year, but the Island Storm consistently show up every time there's a big game, so I don't think any of us should be shocked.
Your final thoughts here at Budweiser Gardens before the Lightning travel to the Institute for the games 3 and 4, if necessary.
I think they're going to like the second half tape a lot better than the first half, but this just goes to show that even when London's not at 100%, they're still the toughest team to beat in the NBLC. This was a game where Orangeville could have had it. This was a game where London, they struggled in a way that we're not used to seeing, and they still managed to pull out the victory. And I think that's got to be a scary prospect for the other teams in the NBLC.
And thanks for bearing with me. Always appreciate it. This was a doozy from the start. We've seen Orangeville A start with a good lead, and then the London Lightning do what they do best with their run-and-gun game, have significant bench scoring, and that's what led to their three-point victory. Once again, 121 to 118 pinned that to the London Lightning. Knoxroom.tv will be back to the Tubi, back in Lakeshore tomorrow afternoon, where the KW Titans will play the Windsor Express Game 2, and you've seen how close that game was on Friday. Hopefully, maybe the Windsor Express might capitalize, take a 2-0 lead, but KW is going to be looking for a vengeance, so tune in tomorrow afternoon, pre-game 10 minutes before 2, so tune in for that. But other than that, that does it right here. Once again, London Lightning take a 2-0 lead. We thank all of you for watching, and we'll see you down the 401 in just about less than 24 hours. We'll see you then. This has been a presentation of Knoxroom Digital Media, producing the media's excellence in Southern Ontario. For Chris Croucher, this be Aaron Sanders saying so long from the Forest City.